Having the right people with the right dynamics, we all recognize that everybody's got their own part to play. I mean, everybody works together. We have field technicians, but they recognize that we got an office staff and we got guys in the warehouse that are supporting them out in the field.
I came in not having any experience at all, and everybody was really warm and welcoming as far as, learning new things and on the pace as far as my own pace.
I think one of the favorite things about Seneca for me are the people. A lot of great talent, and just really fun people to talk to and to be with. We continue to grow and advance and go into new states, new opportunities. So it's been a great home for me, and I think it could be a great home for others as well.
I transferred from Waste Solutions to our construction division, and it was a lateral move, but a lot more opportunities to grow within the company. And I'm just hoping to continue efficiency and process improvement, which are things that I really enjoy doing, and Seneca's given me an opportunity to explore that. Continuously throughout my entire career with Seneca, they've always been able to allow me to change up my role based on what I was needing, what I wanted, and get to kind of choose where my success is going to be.
A couple of first days I was here, I was, maybe fortunate enough to meet the owner and his son, and usually you don't do that, but they walk through the building and they're like, one of the people here.
To live a life and be solely focused on profit is pretty shallow. I mean, it matters, that's what drives everything, but it's not the end-all be-all, right? And it can certainly be impacted by only focusing myopically on that one thing. I mean, we accomplish what we set out to do as a business, but more importantly, we set out and helped other people accomplish what they wanted to in their careers. We helped our customers grow their businesses. We really were a part of something really great.
Seneca's always been encouraging to put your family first. I wanted to be able to drop my kid off in the morning, so if there were weather delays, 2-hour school delays, I would just call and say, hey, I can't drop my kid off. And they were like, oh, that's fine, we'll see you when you get here. I've never worked for a company that's been so welcoming to that.
When I moved down here, the primary reason was my wife was from here, and her mom had advanced Alzheimer's. So when we were kind of on the fence where we were going to move, it made sense for us to be down here. And so as a technician, that's when I was working in the field, and I was probably about 2 hours away on an install. Well, that's when I got the phone call that my mother-in-law had slipped and they were moving her into hospice because she had broken her hip. I made one phone call and they dispatched 2 technicians to come relieve me. Even my father-in-law was like, wow, you got a great group of guys you work with. I'm like, no doubt.
They could trust that their team is going to catch them if they ever need a safety net. We're there for you.
Anybody that's looking for a challenge, that wants to use their hands, use their head, it's a unique trade that we do.
I would say come work here. I mean, if you're looking for a career, then this is the place for you.
2 days removed from an emotional Friday evening, the Central Conference playoffs roll on in USL League 2. Next up on the menu is the Central Conference semifinal, 4 steps away from the national title match. The visitors are a long way from home and have already weathered quite the storm just to make it here, whereas the Iowa Giants suffocated their first-round opposition. With 3 red cards and a penalty shootout already taking place on this side of the bracket, it's anyone's guess what we'll see tonight. Good evening and welcome to live coverage of the USL 2 National Playoffs on the Central Iowa Sports Network. With Justin Forster alongside me in the commentary booth at Valley Stadium, my name's Danny Catula, saying welcome into tonight's match, broadcast on 11 Sports and on YouTube. Justin, the match that we saw to set this match up, especially that first leg that got Kings Hammer here. Incredible scenes, dramatic scenes, but 120 minutes of football on a very, very warm pitch. How is that going to affect Kings Hammer coming up against Des Moines Menace tonight?
Well, and hot it was, Danny. It's great to be here again. I think Kings Hammer, they've had the day off yesterday. They were totally worn out. In fact, both teams were. Kalamazoo were worn out. They got through the match. It was exciting. The last 30 minutes, the extra time that was played, and then the penalty shootouts. It was so exciting. But I think they'll build up to it. I think the adrenaline will keep them going. The motivation will keep them going. You know, we always talk about the heat, but I tell you what, they've had the recovery. They're in for this.
And a cooler evening this evening as well, I should mention. Probably 15 or 20 degrees so, which is certainly fun for us in the booth, and it'll be a lot more ideal for them on the pitch. When we look at Menace, they've got 20 games unbeaten at this point, dating all the way back to when they were national title winners last season. But Kings Hammer comes in with 11 matches unbeaten themselves, 2 teams with big streaks, and one of them has to end tonight. What does it take to beat a team like that who's got such confidence and are riding so high?
Unfortunately, one team has to lose today. Despite the unbeaten run, both teams deserve to be here. But it's going to take a lot. I mean, the Menace just need to keep playing the way they've been playing. I think they're scoring goals. They haven't conceded in the last 2 games, which I think is brilliant. They always start slow and they weather the storm. And at some point, it's kind of scary for the fans because they look nervous, like they're going to make mistakes. Kings Hammer, they started out really well in the last game. They're 2 in the 3, the left back, right back. They get forward. They play inverted. They add in the overloads. I think they're going to continue to do what they've been doing. And I think the Menace really have to focus on pressing the ball in the opponent's third of the field and stop the diagonal ball, because that is where they're dangerous.
That pressure sure could be important for both sides. More pre-match analysis and, of course, the opening whistle coming up in just a minute. Don't you dare go away. Central Conference semis right here on CISN.
The Chicken in Orilla is a classic roadhouse joint serving chicken any way you want. All hand-cut, hand-breaded, and 100% satisfying. Chicken, just like your mama used to make. Bring the whole fam for all their favorites, and chicken so good you'll know why we could only call ourselves the Chicken. In the middle of nowhere, but just minutes from everywhere. With over 260 beers on tap, El Bait Shop isn't just another craft beer bar. It's the best. Beer lovers know El Bait Shop, 200 Southwest 2nd, Des Moines.
At DeArmond Ford Indianola and DeArmond Automotive Knoxville, we want you to experience the DeArmond difference.
My dad and I are in the dealership every day to ensure your ownership experience is exceptional.
We're completing phase 2 of our major reconstruction project at our Indianola location, providing a state-of-the-art customer lounge and waiting area and soon-to-be all-new showroom, reinvesting back into our communities.
DeArmond Ford Indianola and DeArmond Automotive Knoxville. Experience the DeArmond difference today. DeArmondAuto.com.
Missing a quality home-cooked meal? You know, the kind Mom used to make? Lucky for you, we found her recipe book. Welcome to the High Life. Welcome to the Champagne of Bars.
aggressively, relentlessly at your service. To me, it means being there 24/7, rain or shine, during storms, after storms.
Being a first responder to the community, to my customers.
Being there to get the customers back on and to see the smiles on their face.
To provide the kind of reliability that we can hold our heads high about.
And we want to keep our customers safe. Safety's first around here.
And that's rewarding.
Back with you in West Des Moines as we prepare for kickoff between 5-seed Kings Hammer FC of the Valley Division and top-seeded Des Moines Menace representing the Deep North. For the first and only time in these Central Conference playoffs for Menace, they'll be facing an opponent that they've never played before. With that in mind, Justin, what have we learned from their dramatic win over Kalamazoo on Friday, looking at Kings Hammer?
Well, persistence is the word here. Danny, as you look here, this is the first goal that came in overtime after a grueling 90 minutes in the heat. Brilliant ball that was played in by Lockwood into an actual own goal here, as you can see. So Lockwood delivering, Lara going in for the header, came off Garvey for an own goal. Unfortunate, but you know what? Garvey made amends. 5 minutes later, actually a minute later, a far post, and what an unbelievable header coming in off the far post into the back of the net. The matchup was off though, the marking on the far post. And then here we go, Sam Robinson, the substitute, just persistency there, closing down, manages to get to the ball just as it goes, about to go out, and there was that man, Ben Damji on the far post, just getting his foot to it and smashing it into the top of the net. And then here we go again, that man Lockwood into Whelan just putting it on his left foot, and what an absolutely clinical strike into the top corner. Bryant Pratt couldn't get anything there. The game went into overtime after that, but penalties. But as you can see here, another chance just towards the end of the match. It was a crucial save here by Bryant Pratt. Again, he got man of the match, and there was a reason why. The match went into a penalty shootout. It was Mawson Pratt show, and it was to see who would come out on top. The first penalty here was taken by Kings Hammer. And then there's Pratt in goal. Next one comes in, straight at Pratt. And it was an unbelievable, just didn't have to move, no problem at all. Another save there by Morse. And like I said, it was a goalkeeper show. And who was going to come out on top? And another penalty here. And again, Bryant going the opposite way. And that was that man Harmon putting in the top corner. Aeti comes up again. What a fantastic penalty into the top corner, sending Morse the wrong way. And Bryant coming in, and what a save to his right-hand side to win the game. The penalty is 6-5 after 90 minutes plus overtime. Fantastic there. Well done to Kings Hammer.
Yeah, fantastic, dramatic. Any adjective you want to put on it, fantastic work from Kings Hammer. Give you a look at what they're bringing to the table as far as some quick facts. They're the 5-seed, as we've mentioned, from the Valley Division, just looking to survive and advance out here against a high-quality Menace side. It was 10 penalties each that both those teams ended up taking. Kings Hammer obviously getting that 6-5 edge over Kalamazoo with that draw that turned into a penalty win. 11 matches unbeaten. That's something that Menace have been touting all season, that they've got that double-digit unbeaten streak, and Kings Hammer said, well, we've got one of those ourselves. It's their first playoff appearance, already making it to the Central Conference semifinals, the second round of the national playoffs in their second season as a USL 2 side. Ben Damji is the guy you're going to want to watch. He got his his 8th goal in 6 matches, over a goal per game for Damji. Coming off the bench for the second straight match, what's he going to bring in that substitute role?
Well, I'm surprised not to see him starting tonight, but I can see what's going on, obviously, from the coaching staff. Damji comes into a game and he's effective, especially when the game opens up. He finds himself a lot of space, and obviously the complacency maybe in the back line. And this was the case when Sam Robinson came into the game as well. We saw complacency in Kalamazoo with the press, and I think that's why that pairing is brought in later on into the game.
Kings Hammer 10 wins, 2 draws, and 2 losses in the regular season, adding a win to their tally on Friday, of course. Paul Nicholson, his second year as the manager of the Covington, Kentucky-based club. Brandon Ponchak, the assistant and the operations manager. Looking at Des Moines Menace, they're the 1 seed in the Central Conference, obviously the favorite of all favorites, given that they won it all last year, and they started things off pretty dominantly, but not in that first half. Let's take a look at how we got there against Caw Valley.
Yeah, it was a shaky first half start on a very, very hot night in a match that got very, very heated, with the manager being sent off and 2 players being sent off. But here you see Goldthorpe just shielding the ball, just a little nudge on the defender. He has 2 options to his right, which ends up being in a 2v1 situation. Decides to take it on his own, and just as the defender's coming across, clips it off the defender and goes into the back of the net, as you can see here, while he had Riley Kraft also lurking in there, also just trying to making sure that ball crossed the line. A great finish there. This was a horrific tackle by Keita on Nedic, and I mean, definite sending off, straight red card. There was a few yellows thrown out there as well, but that's just nasty at the end of the day. Luckily for Nedic, he came out unscathed. He did pick up a yellow card earlier on and was taken out. Here, Lance Roseboom, what a ball over the top here. And as you can see, it's that man Brewer, sees the keeper off his line. He gets his head up and just dinks it over his head. One bounce into the back of the net on his debut. Fantastic finish. Here, Riley Kraft, what a ball over the top again. And it's Goldthorpe on the ball. The Yorkshire Terrier opens up his hips and places it past the goalkeeper. Again, look at this. Trademark finish. Right foot into the bottom corner. Absolutely fantastic. You can see he's enjoying that. And then Ramsey Kelly, just a little dink over the top. Birmingham, the substitute, coming in. Also a goal scorer. Trademark finish from Birmingham. Steps across, opens his hips up, fakes out the keeper, one way, straight into the back of the net. Absolutely fantastic.
4-0 at the end of things. A couple of red cards on the pitch for Caw Valley, a third to their coaching staff. A lot going on over there. Drama in a different sense, but Des Moines able to get themselves out of that dramatic situation with a little bit more comfort. Let's scout the Menace a little bit, see what the home side will be bringing to the table at Valley Stadium this evening. It's more of the same, and no changes to this formation. It's been 3-4-1-2 since time started, it seems. Coach Dean Johnson's been pretty committed to that formation, and it's been effective for them. They haven't lost in 20 matches, as we mentioned before. Got that 4-0 win over the visitors from Kansas on Friday. They're going to want a quick start, aren't they, Justin? They haven't had that really all season long. Yeah, absolutely, and I think they need to have a quick start, come out of the blocks right away, put the press on King's Hammer. You know, and then we look at a player to watch. Elliot Goldthorpe got man of the match with a brace last week. Now, Elliot just needs to be more consistent in this match, and that's going to be the key. But who's going to drop into the midfield, maybe to nullify the overlapping run of Robbie Burlew, and I think maybe 1 or 2 of the forwards might drop in to assist that. You see Goldthorpe and a gold penny in front of us on your screen, and he's been golden this season. He's got 7 matches from his 7 goals from his 10 matches played, I should say. 2 assists as well. Unselfish guy when he's got an opportunity to pass it across. We've seen it a couple times. That wasn't the first brace he's had either. He can score them in bunches. That's what to expect for both these sides, but more pre-match action and, of course, the opening whistle, which you've been waiting for, all coming up next on CISN.
The largest selection of German beer in the world? You'll find it at the Hessen House. From Doppelbocks to Oktoberfest to Hefeweizens and Dunkels. There's no passport needed for the deliciously different beer and food at the Hessen House. So grab your friends and make it a fun night out. The Hessen House, 4th and Court, Des Moines.
Hi, it's Amanda with Holt's Plumbing and Heating. With inventory tight, Holt not only anticipated the need, but took the risk of stocking up on our most popular products. While our competitors scramble to find furnaces, air conditioners, and water heaters, we have plenty of stock, ready to be installed. Even though we have extra products, now we see demand at an all-time high. To sweeten the deal, we are also offering 0% financing on your new purchase. Just one more reason why more and more Central Iowans are saying, let Holt handle that.
There's a new spin on casual dining near Drake University. Lucky Horse Beer and Burgers. Craveable faves, flatbreads, delicious burgers, frozen cocktails, and a crazy cool vibe. Get to Lucky Horse Beer and Burgers today.
There's more Iowa in the Iowa Tap Room than you may realize. Housed in a building nearly as old as Iowa itself, the Iowa Tap Room greets you with a harvest of 120 Iowa craft beers on tap from all corners of the state. And the food doesn't get much more Iowa than this. The Iowa Tap Room, all Iowa beer, one amazing place.
Hi, I'm Joe the Car Guy with Westside Auto. I'm excited to tell you about our new lifetime oil change plan. When you purchase our plan, you'll never have to pay for an oil change again. If you get a different car, simply transfer the plan over. If that car's oil needs are different than your original plan, just pay the difference. It couldn't be simpler. You won't have to worry about inflation or prices going up. Give us a call at Westside Auto Pros to get details on the lifetime oil change plan. And remember, when I say lifetime, I mean your lifetime, not just your car's.
Welcome back to West Des Moines, Iowa, where Des Moines Menace are set to host Kings Hammer FC momentarily. Justin Forster joining myself, Danny Catula, in the commentary booth. A couple stories up at Valley Stadium in West Des Moines. Tonight's Central Conference semifinal sets up another busy weekend to come on July 29th and 31st, when the two remaining clubs from the Central and Western Conferences will meet in one location and decide one of two national finalists. Still don't know what that location is, of course, because we don't know who those clubs are that will advance, but we can tell you, as of just a few minutes ago earlier today, Flint City Bucks taking down Chicago FC United. You see on the bottom middle of your screen. Flint City, the 7 seed, after finishing second in the Great Lakes Division. Kalamazoo took top, obviously losing to Kings Hammer on Friday. But Flint City, despite finishing second in that division, were able to not only take down 3-seed South Bend Lions, but also second-seeded Chicago FC United. Justin, this is a team that Menace are very familiar with. They were conference opponents, division opponents for a very long time, and ever since then they've still been playing in national playoff time. That could be the case if Des Moines win tonight. They would play next week. What does Flint City offer that makes them so good year after year?
Flint City, they're a tough organization to play against. They come out and they're always competitive. Yes, the Menace did beat them last year in the conference final by a goal to 0, and it was an end-to-end match. Lots of chances. Flint City came off the blocks, and they came at the Menace, and it was here at home actually where the match was played, and the Menace came out on top. Chicago FC United, when we go back to that game, being the top seed there, I mean, they lost 2-1, they were 2-0 down, which just goes to show that Flint City have the quality in that organization to make things happen. And obviously the outcome today, we'll see. The winner plays Flint City next weekend.
It will be a tough test for either of these sides, whichever one is to progress, but I think both these sides are equally capable of going up to Flint or potentially being here or in Kentucky, and wherever that ends up being, that could be a fantastic match. And then, of course, wherever we end up, that next match between the Central Conference champion and the Western Conference champion will also be in that common location. Again, July 29th is the Central Conference final. That's this coming Friday. This coming Sunday, a week from today, is the Central versus Western National semifinal. And we mentioned this Western Conference. If you're curious who Menace could play, or Kings Hammer, whoever is to progress past this match and the next one with Flint City, that national semifinal could include somebody like Ventura County Fusion. Right now, they're on top of Southern California Seahorses in one Western Conference semifinal. That's an all-LA battle down in SoCal. Again, 1-0 is the halftime score for Ventura County Fusion against Southern California Seahorses. Meanwhile, Ballard FC earlier on clinched their spot. So Ballard out of Seattle, Washington, defeating San Francisco Glens. The 4-seed Ballard will be playing the winner of that LA Derby between Southern California Seahorses and Ventura County Fusion. So right now, if results hold, Ventura will play Ballard. That's the West. And here in the Central, still a whole lot to play for. Menace taking on Kings Hammer for the right to play Flint City. And that is how complicated, how exciting, how crazy this time gets, especially in USL League 2. So many fixtures all tied together. This is what we live for as football fans, as football commentators. Doesn't get much better than this, does it?
Sometimes you wish it never ends, Danny. I mean, and that's the excitement. That's all part of it. And the fan base, even looking out here the fans are now streaming in here for a Sunday night. I think we're going to have a bigger crowd than what we had on Friday night for a Friday night game. So it says a lot for what's going on here in the city of Des Moines with the Menace and the promotions and Pro Iowa and everything else that's going on with the championship, USL championship inauguration coming up in 2025. But, you know, the league has grown tremendously. It's at a rate where the quality of the teams are just absolutely clinical. The games we saw the other night were brilliant, absolutely fantastic. So it says a lot for the league and how much it's improving.
When we look at Menace, somebody that we haven't mentioned yet, Shaft Brewer Jr., making his second appearance this season after coming in a pretty late season addition out of contract in Norway at Fram Larvik, a club in the third tier over there. He finds his way to Menace. He was a menace in the attack alongside Elliot Goldthorpe. The two of them together, 3 goals between them. Brewer had one of his own, that second one that you saw in the highlight package. So speedy, but what does he bring beside his speed to the table in that attacking role?
I think we're going to see more of Shaft Brewer tonight. You know, that was his debut. He scored a goal, played 75 minutes. But I think we're going to see more of him. He's just got used to the team. He had a week's training. But his pace is electrifying, Danny. He will make those runs off the shoulders of the centre backs, trying to get him behind. And I think that's what the Menace are going to look to do, is to try and get Shaft Brewer behind. But then when you look at who he's got alongside him, Elliot Goldthorpe and Riley Kraft. Riley Kraft had a great match the other night. He was a little bit disappointed with the sitter that he missed. But I tell you what, he brings a lot to the table as well. This attacking force here is a threat and something that Kings Hammer need to watch out for.
A lot of people will know this Menace brand pretty well, especially if you followed USL League 2 or, of course, the PDL, what it was known as for a long time before then. But if you're curious and you're new to Menace, 28th season of Des Moines Menace's history, founded in 1994, almost 3 decades ago. They've got plenty of silverware in the cabinet, 2 national titles, looking for a third this season, and a second straight. That would be the first time that anyone in USL League 2 or the PDL has won 2 consecutive national titles since 2003. That would be quite the feat as well. 5 regular season titles for Des Moines Menace in their history, 17 playoff appearances in their 28 years, and 14 appearances in the U.S. Open Cup. Their owner, Kyle Kraus, inducted into the USL Hall of Fame. That's a collective Hall of Fame for Championship, League 1, and League 2, all United Soccer League-owned divisions. He was inducted into the USL Hall of Fame in December 2011. For Kings Hammer, mentioned they're out of Covington, Kentucky. They started play in 2021. Before they joined USL League 2, they spent a season in a fledgling league, the Ohio Valley Premier League, the OVPL as it's known. That's a really underrated league when you talk about pre-professional soccer, and it's done wonders for that area of the country's soccer. So we'll take a quick break here. Des Moines Menace and Kings Hammer coming back with you in just a moment. The stage nearly set. All that's left to do is bring you the starting 11 from each team, share final thoughts, and get things underway in the Hawkeye State. All that after this on CISN.
Joints are keeping you from what you really want to do. Whether it's playing with your kids, golfing on the weekends, or dancing with your spouse on date night, DMOS can help. Des Moines Orthopedic Surgeons. DMOS, a nationally recognized team of orthopedic specialists, can help make it happen. Rated among the state's best for joint replacement surgery, DMOS offers the Metro's most comprehensive range of play-restoring orthopedic services, from sports medicine, urgent injury, to physical therapy. At DMOS, we're ready to help you get back to living. Learn more at dmos.com.
Hi, it's Amanda with Holt's Plumbing and Heating. With inventory tight, Holt not only anticipated the need, but took the risk of stocking up on our most popular products. While our competitors scramble to find furnaces, air conditioners, and water heaters, we have plenty of stock, ready to be installed. Even though we have extra products, now we see demand at an all-time high. To sweeten the deal, we are also offering 0% financing on your new purchase.
Just one more reason why more and more Central Iowans are saying, let Holt handle that.
At DeArmond Ford Indianola and DeArmond Automotive Knoxville, we want you to experience the DeArmond difference.
My dad and I are in the dealership every day to ensure your ownership experience is exceptional.
We're completing phase 2 of our major reconstruction project at our Indianola location, providing a state-of-the-art customer lounge and waiting area and soon-to-be all-new showroom, reinvesting back into our communities.
DeArmond Ford Indianola and DeArmond Automotive Knoxville. Experience the DeArmond difference today. DeArmondAuto.com.
It takes a village to empower a young person to achieve their full potential. Yet today in America, 1 in 3 kids are growing up without a mentor. Together, we can change this. You can be that someone for a young person by becoming a mentor. Join the village. Big brothers, big sisters. Become a big today.
The assistant referees are Ryan Cook and Morgan Clark. The fourth official is Hassan Omanovich. At this time, we ask all who are able to please rise and remove all headgear for our national anthem.
Match day, it's in just a couple of moments. National anthem is finished, festivities are over. Kings Hammer FC, number 5 seed in the Central Conference, and top-seeded Des Moines Menace about to go head-to-head. The winner takes on Flint City Bucks in the Central Conference Final, and that puts them one step away from the National Final Four. Final preparations being made for this one, and we're glad you're here with us as well on CISN via YouTube and 11 Sports. Here's a first look at how the underdogs from Covington, Kentucky will line up this evening. Kings Hammer in goal will have Bryant Pratt stood on his head last time out on Friday, not only saving a couple penalties, but being very important in the run of play in the 90 minutes. Paul Hernandez is the left back, Lalas Ayerty and Ethan Garvey are the center backs. Robbie Burlew is in at right back. Cam Torito, one of a few changes for Kings Hammer. He'll slot into defensive midfield. Taylor Dyson and Mikkel Goling of Copenhagen, Denmark. They are the two in central midfield. Maloon Gumbali figures to be on the right side of attack. Taylor Reinhardt is your central striker, the top number 9. And Reese Albaugh is your left winger. 3 goals, 2 assists in 13 matches for Albaugh. Meanwhile, for Menace, the home side, here's how they'll look in front of what has to be about 3,000 fans here at Valley Stadium. In goal, it's Grant Makala of Destin, Florida, 6'5", 200-pound frame, will guard the goal for the home side. Connor Langen is your right center back. Corey Cupid on the left side of defense. Zeron Sewell will anchor the back line. Luke Edich and Lance Roseboom are in defensive midfield. Roseboom, the 17-year veteran of professional soccer. Gianluca Fiorini is the right wing back out of Italy. Neville Morgan of Westmoreland, Jamaica is your left wing back. In attacking midfield, the man who pulls the strings, Riley Kraft, the captain himself. Right striker is Elliot Goldthorpe, and that speedy man on the left side, Shaft Brewer Jr. of Sacramento, California, and the Sacramento Republic Academy is in the strike force as well. Those are your 11s for both sides, and with that in mind, we are about ready to kick off. Justin, final thoughts. What's it going to take for one of these teams to have the edge? Is it an emotional thing? Is it a mental thing that's going to carry one team over?
Yeah, I think it's a bit of both, to be honest with you. Emotional, mental. I think one for the Menace, they just need to keep their calm. If they're being frustrated with some tackles going in, they just need to keep their heads. They can't get frustrated, keep the calm, keep their patience. they've got to watch out for King's Hammer. King's Hammer like to attack with the outside backs, with Brewer likes to go forward. So it depends how they shape up today. They might play 3 at the back. We're not sure yet.
Luis Tribaldo in green is all set to get things going in the center. Holding the whistle, Menace moving from left to right in front of you. You see the ball in the center of the spot. Riley Kraft is over it with Goldthorpe next to him. Menace in their classic home kit, red and black stripes with black on the back, black shorts and black socks. King's Hammer in their all gray away trim. Underway for the Central Conference semifinal here in West Des Moines. Early on, King's Hammer with some possession. It felt like a tale of two halves when we look at King's Hammer taking on Kalamazoo in those first 30, 40 minutes. That whole first half, they dominated possession. It felt like what they wanted to do. Switched to more of a counter-attacking style in the second half, and that's something we know about Paul Nicholson. He likes to make changes mid-match. He's one of those tacticians who can get his players to change as the match is going on.
Yeah, and I think, his players trust him. They trust the process. They look very, very well organized Friday night when they attacked. They most definitely did. I don't think we'll see much of Burlew going forward today because he did pick up not an injury, but just he was very, very tired by the end of the match.
Cam Torito plays it out left, and that's as far as it'll go. It'll be a throw-in for King's Hammer, but well defended that time by Fiorini. This one thrown in quickly for Maloon Gumbali. Back out, sent in by Paul Hernandez. That ball is a little bit outside the box, and Neville Morgan heads it down. He'd like to run away with it. Well defended there on the far side, and Menace will learn a throw. King's Hammer not afraid to strike quickly either. They like possession, but when they see an opportunity like that one to go outside on the wings especially and get forward, they'll do it in 1 or 2 passes.
Yeah, and you can see Hernandez was down the left-hand side. Yeah, he actually took the throw, but he likes to push forward. In the last game, he didn't do it as much because Burlew did it on the far side more. I'm just going to be interested to see if Burlew will go forward because he was really, really tired by the end of it. Did score a penalty in the penalty shootout. So maybe it's just a case of him just rest in possession or rest when we go forward. He tucks in, he's inverted, he plays as a 6, just covering him behind Cam Torito and Taylor Dyson and Mikael Goling.
Hernandez and Burlew, the outside backs, both played quite the shift. They both went 120 minutes and took penalties for King's Hammer. See if that affects their stamina late on in this one. Burlew does have it on this right side. His father, I should say, played for the Cincinnati Riverhawks professionally, also coached his high school team. My dad also coached my high school team. It's a challenge, but it's always one of those things that makes you a lot better when you've got somebody in your family holding you accountable on that coaching staff.
I see, as King's Hammer look to switch it, Elliot Goldthorpe on the far side is just covering the space there, so just covering what Robbie Burlew was doing in the first match on Friday night, where he was breaking forward, he was coming inverted, and there were overloads on the far side with Tyler Dawson and Gumbale and Burlew going forward, but just that rotation with those 3.
Clever play in midfield. Torito's going to move it out left. Contact, but we stay up. Potential to get into the box here on this left wing. Flying challenge, and it will be a free kick awarded to Taylor Reinhardt and King's Hammer. Luka Nedic is the offender that time.
Yeah, Luka Nedic just lunging in there. It's not really a position you want to give away a free kick with Taylor Dawson stepping up just outside the box, outside the penalty area. The sun is in the eyes of Makela, so this is dangerous. 2-man war.
They are going to have to kick this one in front of the Rabbit supporter section, the Society of Des Moines. We'll see what King's Hammer decide to do. It looks like Taylor Dyson, the free kick specialist, is over it. And you imagine he'll go for a cross to the back post, Justin, but he could go for goal.
Either one, I think he might try and get this ball in at the far post, but you never know. The angle is a little bit difficult here, but Makela is a good goalkeeper. He'll probably have both sides covered.
In it comes, it is directly at goal, and Makela had some saving to do, but he was up for it. Stays 0-0, 5th minute.
Yeah, a difficult one. It was coming into him, not easy, very difficult. He had to get down, smother that ball. Robbie Burlew was coming in and lurking just to try and nick in any rebounds, but Makela did really well there.
Menace getting out quickly after Makela picked that ball up and sent an outlet pass up the left. So to throw it in now, Neville Morgan. So skilled with both feet really on that left side. He's absolutely torched some right backs and made them go through some nightmares, I think, the night before playing Menace. Excellent on the ball. Excellent passer as well once he gets into open space.
Yeah, definitely. I want to see more from Neville Morgan tonight. Didn't see too much from him. He was taken off, I believe, in the 75th minute of the last game. But as you can see, he's making a run in behind as the diagonal ball comes in.
Switch of play is headed out by Paul Hernandez for King's Hammer. Gianluca Fiorini has it for Menace. Langan will play it to Zeron Sewell, the big man in the center of defense. From Morant Bay, Jamaica, went to Jamaica College there and went to VCU, played for the Rams in the U.S. Given away in midfield, King's Hammer liked that press and nearly were able to get an attacking chance from it. Nice job by Lance Roseboom to recover. This one sent long by Langan, and getting on the end of it, Shaft Brewer. Thought about a first-time go, and I think it was an effort at goal in the end. Not a whole lot of power behind it, and it's saved easily by Bryant Pratt.
Ayatu was covering well there. Ayatu had a brilliant match the other night. There was that one moment where he had a 2v1 against him. He delayed pressing. He forced the player wide. He's a decent defender. He's young. He's absolutely fantastic in that role. But there again, Sewer played the ball in earlier into Nedic. I don't think Nedic wanted the ball at that time, but luckily Lance Roseboom, the experienced central midfielder from Cedar Rapids, the local lad, well, we'll say the veteran now, stepping in to break up play and just build the attack again.
Nice slide to win the ball in midfield. And now let's see if Gumbali can go somewhere with it for King's Hammer. Still on the ball, goes down. Referee says no foul, but Gumbali gets up. He'll give it away. And maybe a chance for Menace to break. Ball given away by Riley Kraft. He was looking for the feet of Elliot Goldthorpe there. Instead, it's a chance for King's Hammer to reset. Aerty into midfield. Dyson sends this down the right side. Could Robbie Burlew get there? I think it's Reese Alba out there who couldn't quite latch onto it. Well defended. Albaugh's another guy we could see more of tonight. He came off the bench last time and he provided a spark. He was good getting forward, made some nice runs into that attacking third. And I think it's in the end, it's one of those things that helped King's Hammer grab 2 goals in those 30 minutes of extra time to send things to penalties.
Well, you look at some of the changes in the lineup today. Cam Torito, Reese Albaugh, Ethan Garvey all came late into the game. So it could be fresh legs. They're fresher than any of the other players that are Abril, who's back on the bench. You know, so I think these are tactical changes and personnel changes and going back to the managing players at the end of the day.
Menace with it on the back line. Langan's got it. Played for 5 years, a 5-year starter at Missouri State, originally from Petersfield, England. Brewer can't quite get the touch that he needed, but it goes off of Ethan Garvey, the big 6'7", 215-pound center back. Does enough to get that ball off of Shaft Brewer's foot. Out for a Menace corner, first one of the night.
Yeah, it was a brilliant ball played in by Conor Langan. Mr. Consistency for the Menace this whole season. Brilliant ball played and looking for Shaft Brewer. I tell you what, Ethan Garvey did a very, very good job just staying tight and preventing him from actually getting the cross in.
Kraft puts up his hand. Got the captain's armband, and he's got the right foot to put in a cross. Center of the box headed away at the first time of asking, still in the area, headed back towards goal. And in the end, Pratt dives to his right and picks it up.
Yeah, it was decent cross, very good cross in there from the corner by Riley Kraft, outswinger as we look at this. Wasn't quite cleared by Ayatu. Lance Roseboom going up for the challenge, but easy one there for Brian Pratt. It looked like the ball was going out, but obviously he just decided to keep it in.
Referee just trying to, I think, decide if this is a little underinflated, the ball. I believe they're going to replace it. That's something you don't see too commonly. And for those who aren't familiar, there's a lot of soccer balls in circulation in a match like this. We've got a lot of ball kids out here tonight helping us out here at Valley Stadium. It's helping this match run. So it's something that happens pretty rarely, but it can happen where, I mean, you've got probably 12, 15 balls around the pitch that have been approved by the referees and the coaching staffs to use. And if one of them goes a little bit under, the referee decides it's not good enough. We can do what we've done just now and change it out for a new one.
Yeah, because they test the soccer balls prior to coming out. It could be one that maybe just had a slow leak in it.
Nedic misses that header in midfield. Kraft trying to make up for the mistake. In the end, it's Fiorini who got his foot to the ball and wins Menace a throw. Kraft chests it down to Fiorini. He'll advance it, and it just a little bit over the touchline on this near side in front of us in the press box at Valley.
So I see a change from the other night with regards to King's Hammer. Gambule was playing more on the right-hand side, and I think they will switch at the end of the day. Reese Allbar is on the right now playing in the 7, and Gambule is on our near side playing in the 11. But what an interception there by Godwin.
Morgan's got some space to go forward, and he goes down. No foul, and there will be. It's a bit of a delayed whistle, but we do have it. Morgan goes down. That's an excellent interception that time. Neville Morgan, the Jamaican. And about 25 yards or so from goal, Riley Kraft will get a chance to put this one in.
But that was a brilliant interception there by Neville Morgan. Well read as the ball was played in there to Reese Allbar. Fantastic, earning a free kick on the edge of the box. So the Calypso King has had a good start today.
Looks like it'll be Riley Kraft to put this one in. That replay, by the way, a Royal Mile replay. Royal Mile is the best place in Des Moines to catch a soccer match, right there in the middle of downtown Des Moines between 4th and 5th Street. All the Premier League games you can handle at the best British pub in the state. 12th minute here, and a chance for Menace to potentially craft an early lead off of this free kick. And it goes directly at goal. Pratt will watch it go to the left of his near side post, and it's out for a goal kick, still no score.
Yeah, not a bad effort from Riley Kraft because he's outside the penalty box. I mean, the sun is in Brian Pratt's eyes as well, so why not have a go? Unfortunately, didn't hit the target.
King's Hammer trying to go quickly right now. They send some space down this right side. Mikel Goling will switch the play and plenty of space to run into. Hernandez. From Madrid, Spain, this one sent long, getting on the end of it, Gumbali. Once across along the goal line, he'll cut back instead. Nice defending to keep him at home. Crossed into the middle, top of the box, Alba. He'll have a shot. That one's deflected by Roseboom and easily claimed on the floor by Grant Makela.
Yeah, Gumbali made a run in behind Connor Langen there, just getting to the byline. Langen recovered well, used his pace. He's really quick. He's just got to be aware of that run off the shoulder on the blind side of players like Gumbali. Gumbali's very, very deceptive off the mark, quick, but he did well to contain him.
Gumbali plays it back to Torito, who lost it for a moment. Kraft with a nice interception there, but in the end, it stays with King's Hammer. Garvey's got it. From New Orleans, Louisiana, played in 13 matches, including the match on Friday where he came in as the substitute. He's got 1 goal on the year and 1 own goal, both coming in the same whirlwind of a match for him. I mean, it's funny when you can say he's the person who brought them to penalties with the own goal, the very first goal of the match in extra time, but 2 minutes later, not even, gets a headed goal of his own to tie things up. What a day.
Well, you know, some players, Danny, can lose confidence if they score an own goal, especially in overtime. You know, but don't forget, he never played 90 minutes. He came into the game, he was still fresh. You know, and credit to Garvey, because I thought, oh, is this going to affect his confidence in any way? But he got on the end of that corner. It was an absolutely brilliant goal.
Speaking of brilliant, how about that touch in midfield? And now it's Morgan. Once across, he's got space for it. Beats Alba. In it goes. Low cross, deflected partially. Laid off. Nedic! What a stop. Cat-like reflexes from Pratt. Otherwise, that would have been the opener.
Well, that was the call from Nedic. And I tell you what, it was left by Fiorini, I believe, but the legwork on the far side there, Godwin did really, really well. I mean, Morgan did really well. But what a strike there by Nedic, and the save from Brian Pratt. Unbelievable.
Reason why he was man of the match on Friday. Had a few point-blank saves, this one from long distance, but just as important, this ball comes in near post. Played out. Long distance shot, and it strikes, I believe, Hernandez that time, and he is on the ground pretty bad. It might be Alba, who is down in a heap, and you saw him take the brunt of that kick. Of course, nothing intentional there. Fiorini just trying to get it back into play and have a shot at goal, but Alba in the wrong place at the wrong time stops the shot from going at goal. But I mean, just no time to react to something like that. You'll see it again on the Royal Mile replay. Ooh.
Well, when you look at that, Danny, that's commitment and determination, coming out and closing the ball down. He did kind of turn his back a bit, but he got caught. He could be winded right there. That's just something that you've got to just take your time. They haven't called on the trainers at this point. Otherwise, he'll have to go off, as we all know. If the trainers or staff come onto the field, they have to go off after. He's up. Gingerly gets up. I think he'll be fine.
Something that's happened to a lot of soccer players if they play for long enough is you get hit and you get the wind knocked out of you a little bit, and it's so hard not to call for the trainer to come on and just give you a second of rest and to try and breathe again. But once you get your breathing back, you kind of recover pretty quickly. It's one of those stingers that just kind of hits you. I think it hit him on the side in the end. Thought it hit his face at first, but when it smacks you on that side, sometimes it can just take all the breath out of your lungs, and you got to take a moment to recover.
Yeah, he's just walked over to his position, and he's just had a quick chat with Brandon, the assistant coach on the sideline. You think he's all right. He's just been worked on the far side earlier on by that man, Neville Morgan. So, I mean, is this where the Menace maybe keep that ball going down, the Menace right, Kingshammer left-hand side, and just keep working Alba? He had a great game the other night, but, you know, these are moments where you actually work on certain players and left backs and right backs and so forth.
Those little tactical details can be so much more important than people realize in matches of this consequence and in matches where two quality teams are going at it. Once we get to playoffs in USL League 2, everybody's talented. It comes down to how you play on that day. Ball given away in midfield by Kingshammer, but the deflection falls kindly to Torito. This is Goling. Garvey. Lawless Ayerty of Accra, Ghana. In his second season with Kingshammer. Playing in his 12th match this season, 3 yellow cards on the year for the Ghanaian center back. Garvey sent it long and it was intercepted in midfield. Morgan, deep, long ball over the head of everyone, including the intended target that time. It was Kraft. He hails from Roseville, California, just outside Sacramento. Also played in the Sacramento Republic Academy, so a couple of guys in that front three for Menace, hailing from Republic. Midfield, Menace on the ball again. They like to strike quickly. Kingshammer are still recovering that ball a little bit too long, but it's still in the area. Long distance shot from Goldthorpe. Kisses the crossbar, and that does nothing for Menace, unfortunately. A brilliant effort on goal.
Much better start, definitely, by the Menace tonight. They've had 3 chances, 2 great saves there. Well, this one not quite the save, but Brian Pratt had it covered. Touch out of his foot there, old Goldthorpe just skimming over the crossbar. Didn't get enough dip on it, but look at the press coming in here. The Menace are really playing with some confidence and courage at the moment.
It's these moments that you've got to pick if you're Menace to really force the issue and press high. This time Kingshammer able to get out of it. Hernandez left side. Good recovery by Shaft Brewer. He's playing striker, but he's also got experience at the MLS level, played with Los Angeles FC in their expansion season, made 4 appearances, and at that point he was playing wingback for them. So, I mean, a lot of people won't realize he's one of those guys who can get back and make a tackle as well. Fiorini will head it forward for Menace. Brewer is on the ball now. Goldthorpe and Kraft running through, and this is going to fall kindly for Riley Kraft, a foot save. Pratt makes another stop. Incredible.
Absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. But the build-up play was really, really good there from the Menace. I think fatigue is set into Kingshammer just from the other night because they've been giving the ball away so much. It's too many technical errors. As you can see, they've just lost the ball in the midfield there with Mikel Goling. But there's way too many technical errors. They've given the ball away, and in transition, the Menace are punishing them. But thanks to Brian Pratt in goal, another fantastic save.
But even after that incredible match from Pratt, by the time we reached 120 minutes, despite all his best efforts, Kingshammer had given up 2. It's still possible to score, if you can believe that right now. But an incredible goalkeeper is Pratt. Long ball down the right, Kingshammer looking to possess. Good defending by Corey Cupid out there. And I think they have whistled for a free kick. That refereeing decision brought to you by Vision Park Family Eye Care, serving Des Moines area with great eye care services and a friendly staff. We'll see it again on the Royal Mile replay.
As the ball's played forward by Taylor Dyson. Going in with him is Cupid. Corey Cupid just bringing down Reinhardt. Reinhardt was looking for a yellow card, but that wasn't definitely not a yellow card.
Yeah, good decision to whistle for the foul, but nothing more. It was Ryan Cook who raised his flag and signaled for that foul. Free kick right side, dangerous area. No one gets on the end of it in gray for Kings Hammer. I believe it took a Menace touch most recently. Dangerous service in though, Justin. It's those set pieces that can cause Menace trouble.
Yeah, definitely. Both sides have got quality players that can take the set pieces, but that's something for the Menace to watch out for. They've done well there as far as defensively and taking care of defending set pieces.
Long throw in from Garvey. That is his specialty. He'll whip one in on a first-time cross. Not bad for the center back. Still headed around in there and cleared away. But not for long. Kings Hammer will pinball it back in. Headed away. Clear and away from danger from Neville Morgan, and Kings Hammer will load up another attack. This one taken quickly. All sent down the right, crossed in quickly. And again, well dealt with by Menace, doing what's required on the back line. Garvey will play it to Aerty, and we'll start over. Menace wants a handball there, looked inadvertent. Hernandez stays in play after the deflection. Nice job by Fiordini to be physical and win that ball, but outlet pass up the wing for Shaft Brewer was inaccurate.
Yeah, Connor Langham was looking for that ball over the top for Shaft Brewer. It went over AAT, but Garvey was in there to cover, and Shaft Brewer just sat in just to cover the space so they couldn't play through those passing lanes. But what I have noticed is how the shape of Kings Hammer goes. Burlew is playing a little more withdrawn with Ethan Garvey as the center back. Ayetu is the left center back. And that's kind of the shape they've got right now. They're trying to match up the Menace from what I see, whereas Hernandez is playing more of a higher position as a wing back on our near left-hand side, combining with Gumbale.
Elliot Goldthorpe up the left side. And could Menace do anything with this? On the left flank, it's clever from Morgan, but ran out of real estate. And that'll give the ball back to Kings Hammer.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the objectives here for the Menace, is to try and work Burlew on the far side. You know, he had an incredible game the other night, but he was fatigued at the end, and I think they're just trying to wear him down by getting the ball into Neville Morgan, just to keep running at him. But he's playing more withdrawn to that tonight in the back three, as you can see, and it looks like they're playing in a 3-4-3, and they're going to try and press high on the line.
Something that might back up that theory is the appearance of Quinn Thompson, a substitute right back in the 18. He didn't appear last time, and actually in the place of a backup goalkeeper for Kings Hammer. There's no substitute keeper, at least not listed. Quinn Thompson has replaced Chad Smith in that role, so Quinn Thompson could come in to replace Burlew if he does get fatigued later on.
Yeah, he can, and you know, Quinn Thompson is fresh, but you know, I think playing Burlew in that role.
Kings Hammer, a chance for Gumbali. Well defended by Sewell in the center of the back line there. Still in midfield and still a chance for Kings Hammer. Putting his head down. Reinhardt nearly got the ball back. Going down in the box. Referee says nothing. Grant Makela got the ball. Good call by the referee.
Yeah, Makela, brilliant save there. He just got his body behind the ball, preventing the oncoming striker from actually winning it. Here we have a 2v1 here with Morgan.
End-to-end stuff. Morgan sends it into the box, but that will not reach Shaft Brewer Jr. Menace still on the ball. And it's going to be laid off for Lukanedic, the Bosnian. Grew up in Lincoln, Nebraska, just outside of Omaha, a couple hours away from Des Moines. One of the more local guys, despite being of Bosnian heritage. Now that's a bad ball given away by Roseboom with the back heel. Here's Gumbali. He's shifty and he's quick, but he's got 5 Menace defenders to beat right now. Finally gets some help down the right side. And so many players in the area to cross to. All of a sudden, couple of bounces. Makela couldn't get there. Still in the area, Gumbali. Menace player goes down, and the referee considers for a moment. He'll give a free kick to Menace after Lance Roseboom went down.
Well, Roseboom gave the ball away with a trying to cheeky little back heel, square ball intercepted. And it's dangerous, like we've spoken about this before, as you can see the cross coming in there from Allbar. Makela did well, but guess who's back there defending? The veteran, Lance Roseboom. So it just goes to show he's given the ball away and the work rate. He's back there to win it, earns his team a free kick.
You would think that a 34-year-old in a league of mostly under 25s, would be somebody who'd be a little, a half step slower than the rest of the competition. Not the case with Lance Roseboom. That man is fit, he is in shape, and he's got the stamina to prove it.
Yeah, I mean, he is. He's very, very fit, and he can keep going. When you look at this, he's continuously running for 90 minutes. Might as well just call him the 90-minute man because he just keeps going.
Continuing to go is Robbie Burlew down this right side of attack. Still Burlew. He'll have a go from long distance. Did it touch a Menace player? No, it did not. So out for a goal kick. Grant Makala will happily watch that one go by any day of the week.
Yeah, Corey Cupid actually did very, very well there, cutting off the outside angle, forcing Burlew inside. His touch wasn't right. He's right-footed, didn't want to use his left, and he just struck that off balance across his body. It was going out all the way.
Zeron Sewell with it, and he'll be nice and patient on the ball. Kumbale will now press a little bit higher, try to win the ball back off the Jamaican. Goes back to Makala in the end, and he will boot it long. None of that nonsense, says the goalkeeper. Header won by Menace. Attacking half, but given away. Kings Hammer have done a good job crowding the ball when they're in this attacking half. Menace like to have the ball, and it's quick. Once they've got the ball with space, that's where they start to really damage opponents, especially in the second half. Kings Hammer seem to have figured out that formula for stopping them, at least in these first 25 minutes.
Yeah, and they've done well, but thanks to Brian Pratt and goals for them. I mean, he's pulled off 2 great saves, immaculate saves. But you can see Kings Hammer are starting to piece things together here. But here's what I've noticed as well, like they're playing with 2 holding midfielders, and it's either Taylor Dyson pressing up onto the line to force 4 in the line with 2 wide players as the wing backs, and then Mikel Goling and Torito holding in the midfield, but they get caught with either one of them going too high, and it's either Cam Torito is the only one left. So earlier on, Ayetu was like, got his head up, he's like looking forward, he had to play square, he's looking forward, who's going to come into the space to receive the ball.
Ayetu giving away the foul there near midfield. And Menace will have a chance on the ball. Gumbale is just going to delay that a bit. Gumbale hailing from Cincinnati, Ohio, very nearby. Covington, a southern suburb of the Queen City, just across the Kentucky state line. Gumbale on the ball now with his head. Nice hooked clearance that time from Nedic. Kings Hammer back on the ball, though, just as quickly. Now you see it, now you don't in defensive midfield. Long ball down the left, curling. Makala's outside his box, and he boots that one high into the afternoon sky.
Yeah, well, you see on that particular movement, on those actions there, Gumbale came into the space, drawing a defender with him, leaving the space and behind. And who took off going was that boy, Hernandez, down the left-hand side. Ball was played in for Reinhardt, but Makala, staying sharp, playing a high line, managed to clear that ball away.
Hernandez on the ball now, a native of Tella, Spain. The Catalan region there. Went to Universidad Autónoma de Barcelona. And in midfield, it'll be a free kick. Lance Roseboom, the guilty party. 28 minutes gone, and it's still 0-0 between these sides. So far, a repeat of Menace's last match, and actually at this stage, Kalamazoo and Kings Hammer's last match as well.
Much better on the press here because the outlet was on the far side yet. Torito just waiting in space, because if that ball came out, he had loads of space there just to switch the ball onto the far side where Allbar's got lots of space, but here he is. But as you see there, you got Neville Morgan. Neville Morgan's having a great game so far. And I think both teams, Danny, it's been exciting, it's been entertaining.
Hey, speak about Morgan as he moves up this left side. Get back to that thought later. Excellent intervention that time by Allbar, the right winger coming all the way back and playing right wing back in these defensive moments.
Yeah, great cover there. The switch was on. It was a fantastic ball played in, but you know, earlier on, Burlew had a great header, great technique, just nodding it down into the midfield to keep possession. And now you've got the other youngster, Allbar, you know, doing the same thing.
Pratt reaches up and grabs that free ball at the top of the box. The the edge of his 6-yard space. He's owned that 6-yard box. It's exactly what you want your goalkeeper to do. The 6'2", 190-pound goalkeeper from Columbus, Ohio, went to Bishop Watterson High School there. Plays for the Indiana Hoosiers for his collegiate soccer. Really great program, Indiana. Kings Hammer in the attack, and they could get forward. They've got numbers. Gubale running now down the right. Could be a chance. Offside is the verdict. And it doesn't find its way goalwards anyway, but a couple of runners going forward. That is a little bit concerning if you're top-seeded Menace. They've been a little bit vulnerable to those quick chances down the right side when Kings Hammer have numbers.
Yeah, Mikael Goling playing the ball in, but just Reinhard went too soon into that space, and then he came round onto his left foot to try and clip it across. The Menace were lucky. It's a little concerning. They've got to watch the players. They've got to cover space. They've got to make the game predictable defensively and force the attacking player into areas where they have numbers. But these things are going to happen throughout games. They have to stay concentrated, fully concentrated, be aware of their surroundings.
What's interesting to me, Justin, is there's two different styles, two different ways of playing with these two sides, but at the end of the day, the main threat feels like it's the same. It's that high press leading to counter chances. That's where both teams are dangerous, and in these areas, and it's giving the ball away on that occasion. Garvey had the ball played straight to him, but that's where both these sides can be really effective and dangerous in front of goal. This ball played out to the left. Gubale able to chase it, but not able to get there. Langen will scuff that clearance a little bit, but it's out of play. That was the most important order of business.
Yeah, earlier on the Menace did really well with the numbers round the ball. Yeah, the two holding midfielders in there, overloaded with an overload of 4 defenders around them with Kraft, Fiorini, Goldthorpe that were all coming across and net it, but didn't manage to win the ball. They kept the ball their side and it went down the line, but again did really well, not allowing the switch.
Mikael Goling plays it out wide, and he'll see it again. Thought about another ball out there. Instead, he'll play it more centrally, going down with a light touch. But winning the ball back again. Here's Kings Hammer with the high pressure. Long distance shot from Goling. He can sure strike it with some power. The 6'3" frame on that central midfielder. More than enough to get a shot away, but it's blocked that time pretty nearby and out for a Kings Hammer throw.
The counter press there was brilliant there from Kings Hammer. They lost the ball. They were within 2-3 yards to win it back. They put Nedic under pressure. He had no options to pass to, although he did have Morgan. Morgan's got to be aware of the run on the outside. He's not tracking him and tucking inside.
Cleared away at the top of the box by Menace, but still danger for Kings Hammer right now. Goling gets this ball down nicely. 2 players on him. Tried to just niftily get through both of them, but he couldn't. He will yield a throw in rather than a goal kick. Clever move out there for Menace. They're going to have to throw it in rather than get the gift of Grant Makala's foot to clear this one away.
Yeah, the combination of the defensively of the Caribbean connection out there with Morgan and Cupid did really, really well, pressing Goling, did the right things. They won themselves a throw-in, but like I was saying earlier on here, Danny, Alba, Neville Morgan has got to watch him because Alba is making these runs off his shoulder, and he's not tucking inside quick enough. He needs to just narrow that angle because the ball could be played in behind him. But I know Morgan's quick, but Alba's quick as well, so just got to watch that.
Yeah, a lot of speed in the wing areas of both these teams. First you got Shaft Brewer in the center for Menace as well, but Fiorini's got pace. Morgan probably has even more pace on the left side. This is Zeron Sewell for Menace. Connor Langen. Sewell again. Corey Cupid, Trinidad and Tobago native. One of a few Caribbean guys on that back line. And he slips on the ball now. Nearly advantageous for Reese Alba.
Well, just out of your picture, you couldn't see it. The viewers couldn't see it. You had rotational runs coming into the space. It was either Kraft bringing a defender in. Neville Morgan made a tremendous run stretching the line. He would have got him behind Arbar, but the ball wasn't played. maybe something that Cupid didn't see.
Morgan beats a couple of players trying to tackle him. He'll play it to the left edge of the box. Long distance effort. Takes a couple of skips, and that's always difficult for a goalkeeper when it's bouncing off the turf at speed. But Brian Pratt says no problem. 35th minute, still no score.
Yeah, brilliant stuff there from Neville Morgan again. He beat 2 defenders as they came lunging in, allowing him that. Maybe they shouldn't be doing that, lunging into him. But I tell you what, Neville Morgan's playing really well there. Layoff into Riley Croft. Riley Croft's shot was straight into Brian Pratt. It was easy for Pratt at the end of the day. Take something special to beat him. It's got to be a bent ball in the top corner, because this kid in goal is he's very, very agile. He's a great shot stopper, as we've seen earlier on with the 2 fantastic saves that he's made.
How much does it change the way that you build attacks in midfield? Do you look to try to get the ball a little bit closer in? Do you maybe settle for that long distance shot less often? Or is the thought, get as many shots on goal as you can, hope something crazy happens?
Well, we saw it in the last game with Whelan with the equalizing goal. It takes something like that. Bent ball into the top corner.
Goldthorpe's got it. Can he put one into the box? No, he goes down. Aerty was the man to get him to the ground, and Menace would like to see a penalty, but they will not. Center referee Luis Tribaldo says no dice.
Well, looking at this again, Elliot Goldthorpe knew it wasn't a foul. He gets straight back up. Aerty, absolutely brilliant defending again. He knew he had his team a goal kick there. You know, he's a quality defender, and as you can see in your picture there, Elliot Goldthorpe and Aerty, they quickly shake hands and get on with it. Good sportsmanship, and that's what we need, is a bit of fair play.
And easy to lose sight of that when you're in such an important match, a match that's tied as of now, 0-0, between Kingshammer FC. Moving from right to left if you're just joining us, and they're all gray with black numbers. Left to right is Des Moines Menace here at home. Justin Forster and myself, Danny Catula, in the booth with you at Valley Stadium in the 37th minute of play in the Central Conference semifinal. Thanks for joining us, whether you're on YouTube or on 11 Sports. Proud to give you this presentation of the Central Iowa Sports Network. Throwing down this right-hand side for Kingshammer. This could be Allboss territory to latch onto a throw-in and find his way in, although heading to the turf for a moment. It looks like it's Sewell. And he is well out of position, too. I think he's going to get the referee's attention here. You see the referee come in on your screen. And Sewell is not a guy you want to lose. You hope that's something like a cramp that's a little bit less permanent for Sewell, because he's not only an important body in there, not only a smart defender, he's a leader of this team, too. He's been playing really all season. It's his 10th match there on the back line, and that's one area of this Menace team, in a Menace team that's moved around a lot, that's had a lot of players in, a lot of players out. That back line has stayed solid, and we'd like to keep it that way if you're Menace.
Yeah, as the season's gone on, Zeron Sewell's been absolutely brilliant. And in the last 2 games, he was fantastic. Hardly put a foot wrong. Earlier on, he got the ball. He had no options to pass. He went through two closing down defenders, managed to keep the ball. You know, here he just ushered it up, got his right foot to it. And I think it was more just getting his foot to the ball.
Kingshammer player goes down at the edge of the box. Nothing doing from the referee. Grant Makela picks up the cross, and he'll send it long very quickly. Aerty gets to the ball before Goldthorpe, and Kingshammer can clear. Menace throw. They could still have favorable numbers going forward. Fiorini will throw it in. He'll take his time. Doesn't see anything open around him. Thinking about a long throw. Instead, he'll go short to Goldthorpe. Fiorini again. Fiorini, 2 players on him. Succumbs to the pressure. Nice spin move, and Gumbali picks it up. Gumbali is taken down, but no foul. Play on. Midfield, it's one back. Paul Hernandez. Hernandez, long ball. Reinhardt could be offside. He is. And that's excellent work by that back line, especially Corey Cupid. He saw his hand go up the moment the pass came in. He knew where it was going, and he knew he could just sneak forward a little bit and catch Reinhardt off.
Yeah, I think Corey Cupid gave Zeron Sewell the shout just to hold as Reinhardt made that run in behind, and that's where Corey Cupid, after the ball was played, actually made that run to cover just in case the linesman, the assistant AR didn't raise his flag. But you know what, in the midfield here, the closing down and the counter press has been really, it's been brilliant so far from both sides, because when the ball's lost, there are players there to try win it. Right now, it's going more the Menace way in the midfield. That's what I'm seeing at the moment. There's too many square balls from King's Hammer that are being intercepted, and the Menace are playing with just a little more urgency. But as the game's gone on, King's Hammer have just gradually got themselves back in the game.
Doesn't feel like they're a 5 seed, does it? They played with a lot of poise, and they're not backing down from this match. They're not sitting deep, waiting for a counter chance. They're really taking this to Menace, playing in midfield, and now they're losing it in midfield. Here comes Riley Kraft, the attacking midfielder for Menace. On the run, moving to his left, goes back to his right, the shot, and the goal! The opener in minute 40! Riley Kraft with goal number 5.
Well, that's what Riley Kraft needed. He wanted that goal. But let me tell you something. The run from Shaft Brewer to take the defender away, to create the space, his pace, pulling the defender away, created the space. It was going to take, as you can see here, just watch. Hopefully you can see it out of your screen, but look at that run in there. Left footed shot, and I said it was going to take something special. On the ground, bottom corner, and Riley Kraft, you can tell in his celebration when he came over to the sideline, he wanted that goal. In frustration, he missed a sitter the other night, but here again, Danny, look at that.
This is brilliant stuff. High quality finish, puts it all the way in that corner, just buries it. Pace and accuracy, so difficult to stop. Even the legendary Brian Pratt in goal couldn't get to that one. 1-0 Menace, and King's Hammer up against it, but they've certainly got the quality and they've had the gall to get forward in this first half. Nothing has necessarily changed as far as the potential for either side to win this one, but Menace have an advantage that they'll certainly appreciate. That's Cam Torito, who will concede a foul near midfield. Probably going to be Fiorini to take it for Menace. Well, just a little lighthearted conversation between Torito and Kraft. Seems mostly kind. And we're back underway. Cupid.
As we were talking about the challenges and who's dominating in the midfield, and that came from the midfield, from the Menace point of view on that particular goal.
Sewell's got it. It's Gumbali through the spin cycle, and now we'll see it again after the pass to Langen. Bit of a dangerous short ball to Cupid, but it finds its target. Roseboom has moved into more of a left back spot for now. We'll have Morgan pushing forward. It'll be a foul against Roseboom.
So what Roseboom's done there is the ball's played into Corey Cupid. Neville Morgan has made a run to stretch the line, creating that space for Lance Roseboom. Roseboom comes into that particular space to get the ball, to try and get the ball forward. Nedic then holds as the only 6.
Torito's got it in midfield. Spins it out left. They keep it in. Hernandez watched it go over the line before we could get there. Menace throw. Minute 43, and Luka Nedic is on the ball for Des Moines. Plays it back to the back line. This is Cupid. Cross midfield on the dribble. See forward, and that was not a great first touch from Shaft Brewer. Out of play, and King's Hammer will throw. These last 3 minutes of this first half plus stoppage time going to be crucial as far as momentum. What you bring into that halftime team talk?
Well, I think the Menace have just got to keep playing the way they're playing, going into halftime. Keep playing the way they're playing. Be more clinical in front of goal. Shots like what Riley Kraft just had on that one goal. And if they're doing the right things and the way they're closing down in the midfield, I think if they carry on like this, they could see out this game. Also, up front, Shaft Brewer just needs to clean up his touch a bit more. They need to combine into feet, looking for the third man running. Just maybe a little more of that. But otherwise, just keep the way you go. Just keep playing the way you're going, and especially off the ball, is closing down that space.
Ethan Garvey, the big center back, loves these long throw-ins. Saunters forward to take it, bounces a couple times in the box. Kumbali wanted one on the half volley, but it was cleared away before we could get to it. And maybe a counter chance for Menace. Brewer kicks it high up in the air. No real forward lean to that one. And it'll touch a Menace head most recently. Well, at least that's what Referee Luis Trivaldo says Menace would not have probably made that decision. Garvey's got it. Aerty. Moved out wide. Now it's Robbie Burlew. Burlew plays for the Northern Kentucky Norse, NCAA Division I, Horizon League program. Aerty long. Sewell heads it into midfield. Plenty of space for Riley Kraft in his own end. Cupid. Switch of play to the right side. Gianluca Fiorini. Scandiano, Italy. His ball down the right is searching, but it's intercepted by Aerty. This time Gumbali gets on the end of a second effort down that right side, and he'll go down. Man wearing the captain's armband will earn his side a defensive free kick, and it's taken quickly. Midfield options for Torito. He'll hold on to the ball for now. Could not quite beat Roseboom. And Brewer's got it, has to turn. And he'll move to the outside. Ran out of space, but he did keep the ball in play. An error at the back. One-on-one. Menace lead 2-0. Right on the stroke of halftime. Perfect time to get goal number 2. Elliot Goldthorpe. That's why he leads the team in scoring.
With the Ronaldo celebration there, Mr. Goldthorpe. But what a great finish. He needed just some composure then. What a time to get the goal. As you can see, it was an error at the back there. He's composed, brings the ball down and places it past Brian Pratt. He's got to be happy with that. He's got his 3rd goal in 2 games. Absolutely fantastic. And what a time. What a time to get that goal.
2-0 out of nothing for Menace in those last 5 or so minutes. They've been dominant, and Kings Hammer all of a sudden 2 goals down. Excellent couple of touches there to just settle himself and find himself right in front of goal. He really could have gone either side of the keeper. Goes near post and slots it home. So Goldthorpe, 8 goals on the year, 1 of them a penalty kick, 2 assists as well. What a season Goldthorpe has had. Picked up that injury in mid-season, was able to come back. And he's been so effective since returning. He was playing in central midfield before he picked up that knock, missed a couple of matches. When he came back, Coach Dean Johnson decided to put him up front as a striker. I think he surprised all of us with how effective he was up there.
Yeah, and he's goal hungry as well. You know, as a midfielder, he was always looking to break forward as a box-to-box. As the ball's flicked on it out wide to Alba.
Alba's got it. Has 1 defender to beat before he gets into the area. Goes down now, but still with Kings Hammer. Top of the box, potential for a shot, cuts back. Long distance effort, excellent save by Makela. First effort he's had to make on the day, and he makes it.
Routine save there for Makela, diving to his left off a Taylor Dyson effort on the right foot. Dyson was allowed enough time and space to actually get his right foot whipped around there, as you can see. Cuts inside net it, places it. Makela, fantastic save to his left, giving away a corner. The Menace can't afford to give away a goal at this point of the game.
Minute 48. In comes the ball. Well cleared away. Still at the edge of the box. Sliding challenge to get it out. And this will be a foul, but no, they were going to play advantage. They'll go back to it now after the misplaced pass. Still not sure exactly what we'll get for added time. We're in the 3rd minute of it so far, and we did not have a hydration break in this first half. That's something we had on Friday, so that's not anything that's going to add to this first half extra time. I would think in these next 30 seconds, maybe the next minute after that, we'll see the end of half number 1.
The referee made a very, very good choice there because of the foul on Reinhardt out on the far side. He let advantage go, which gave the opportunity for Taylor Dyson to take that shot.
One of the last kicks of half number 1, defended by Kings Hammer. Do they have enough numbers or time to break? They have neither. That's the end of half number 1. 2-0 for Des Moines Menace. Another one of those trademark finishes to half number 1. A couple of goals at the end of things put Des Moines ahead by a double in the first 45. We'll take a quick break. Justin Forster and myself will be back for halftime coverage in just a second on CISN.
The Royal Mile, where everyone's a wee bit British. The Royal Mile is downtown Des Moines' living room with classic pub favourites. Pair them with a glass of whiskey or an expertly poured Guinness. It's bloody brilliant. The Royal Mile, a proper British pub.
Hi, this is Chris from Fireplace Superstore, and it's going to be an interesting patio furniture season this year. We have ordered a ton of merchandise, but due to supply chain issues, it's coming in a truckload at a time all summer long. If you want the best patio furniture, check early and check often. If you want to custom order your furniture, get in here as soon as you can to give your furniture the best chance to arrive this summer. Fireplace Superstore, Iowa's best patio furniture selection, just east of I-35 on Douglas Avenue.
Not too many places hit all the right notes. But when it comes to great atmosphere and delicious scratch-made food, Truman's is the name to know. Game days are for Chiefs fans, but every day is for the food fans. Truman's, get to know us by name.
Need orthopedic care today? DMOS Orthopedic Urgent Injury Clinics in Ankeny and West Des Moines are open 6 days a week. No appointment necessary. Our 2 convenient walk-in clinics offer you full access to dedicated orthopedic specialists. Wait times and costs are generally less than an ER visit. Check hours of operation and wait times instantly at DMOS.com. DMOS Urgent Injury Clinics in Ankeny and West Des Moines, helping you get back to living.
%50 of this game is gone, but in the second 45 minutes, we'll have everything still to play for. Kings Hammer 0 and the home side Des Moines Menace 2. Welcome back to the broadcast booth atop of Valley Stadium. Danny Katulik joined by Justin Forster. A lot to pick apart in that first half, and I think a lot like last time out on Friday for Menace. It wasn't the brightest start, and I think they might have been outplayed in certain moments. Kings Hammer showed they have a lot of quality, but it was those last 5-10 minutes, as Menace tend to do, they turned it up, and now it's 2-0.
Well, definitely a very exciting match tonight. The Menace have done really well closing down in the midfield and not allowing Kings Hammer to switch the point of attack. That is something I think that they've focused on coming into this game tactically. Kings Hammer look a little bit tired. Their speed of actions are too slow. They need to move the ball quickly. However, they did show with that last effort there that Makela pulled off a fantastic save, unbelievable save. But again, it's staying concentrated. 2-0 means nothing at the end of the day, because if Kings Hammer pull one back in, they're going to gain confidence and they're going to gain courage. So you don't, from a Menace point of view, you don't want that to happen.
And we've seen them come back just 2 days ago, down a couple of times against Kalamazoo FC. They were able to get themselves back from the brink a couple of times, both in the run of play in that first half of extra time and then on penalties. They've got the resolve, and they've got the talent up front. For me, I look at that back line on the right side. Reese Allbaugh getting beat a couple of times. Neville Morgan also getting past the right back. Robbie Burley, who we mentioned, has been a little bit more fatigued this time around. Do you see a change coming at some point in the second half on that side?
Well, I think Sam Robinson needs to be introduced for Kings Hammer, and I think that Ben Gamgee needs to come in as well, because he's effective, he's quality. He scored in the last game. He scored 2 goals in the previous game prior to that. So they'll have a lot to offer. It's when the coaching staff are going to make that change. Are they going to do it now? But I think they might see things how they go, maybe make the change in the 60th minute, because if they're going to do something, they need to start doing it quickly.
No halftime substitutions so far this weekend, but one could be in the cards. More halftime analysis, and of course the second half of action is coming in just a moment. Don't go away. You're listening to CISN.
Obsessively, relentlessly at your service. To me, it means being there 24/7. Rain or shine, during storms, after storms.
Being a first responder to the community, to my customers.
Being there to get the customers back on and to see the smiles on their face.
To provide the kind of reliability that we can hold our heads high about.
And we want to keep our customers safe. Safety's first around here.
And that's rewarding.
Hi, I'm Joe the Car Guy with Westside Auto. I'm excited to tell you about our new lifetime oil change plan. When you purchase our plan, you'll never have to pay for an oil change again. If you get a different car, simply transfer the plan over. If that car's oil needs are different than your original plan, just pay the difference. It couldn't be simpler. You won't have to worry about inflation or prices going up. Give us a call at Westside Auto Pros to get details on the lifetime oil change plan. And remember, when I say lifetime, I mean your lifetime, not just your car's.
Here in the heartland, at the heart of everything cool, Greater Des Moines is more than its features. It's a feeling. A feeling of discovery and wonder everywhere you turn. Catch what you've been missing. Des Moines, the S's are silent, our city is booming.
When I think about the mini pitch initiative, I think about creating equal access to allow youth to have confidence in themselves, to develop teamwork. You know, for me, sports were always a huge part of my life, and I want other people to have that same experience that I did. When you revitalize space in the community, you're able to allow people to come together. We've worked really hard with the U.S. Soccer Foundation over the past couple years and bringing pitches all over the country. We're really proud of being able to create spaces for kids to play and grow. At the end of the day, soccer is just a conduit. It's allowing kids to develop and give them the tools that they need for life. That's what soccer means to me.
Halftime coverage on CISN of the USL League 2 National Playoff semifinals of the Central Conference, where Des Moines Menace are leading at home 2-0 over Kings Hammer FC out of Kentucky. Let's have a look at the highlights, shall we, Justin?
Yeah, let's take a look at this. But the Menace here with Riley Kraft on the ball, Fiorini playing a ball into feet, just slightly intercepted, but there was Goldthorpe with that effort that just skimmed off the crossbar, just taking that ball out of his feet. Here, the ball out wide here, Arbar on the ball, delivers into the box. Makela just coming out, managing to get a hand to it while Reinhardt was lurking. Lance Roseboom just stepping in there, forcing a foul. Here's the goal, the movement from Sharp Brewer up front, creating that for Riley Kraft. Riley Kraft taking that ball onto his left foot. He can strike with both feet. You can see the excitement there, scoring his goal. Yeah, Goldthorpe latching onto a defensive error as the ball's played through. Pratt coming out. It had to take some composure there. That's not easy to score, and he just slotted it past the goalkeeper.
That puts us where we're at right now, 2-0 the current scoreline. Menace, of course, ahead by a pair of goals. Grant Makela had some work to do as well, especially towards the end of that first half. Kings Hammer certainly created their chances, Justin.
Yeah, I tell you what, the save that he pulled off there from Taylor Dyson was absolutely fantastic. Obviously, Kings Hammer were looking for the free kick. The ref did well, playing advantage. Makela to his save to his left-hand side. And it takes something like that. He was staying focused. He was concentrating. It was a brilliant save. But, then we look at game changers. If Kings Hammer would have scored there, coming out with the momentum, it could have been dangerous for the Menace, because now they're just oozing confidence. Menace have just got to keep playing the way they're doing. Defensively, they're doing well off the ball and through the midfield up front, and how Goldthorpe and actually Riley Kraft is dropping in. He doesn't normally drop in, but he's really doing a good job with that. And same with Brewer. I think with Kings Hammer, maybe he makes some changes. If not now, in the 60th minute, they get a couple of their striking options they have on the bench into the game. I think that's going to help. Maybe they switch the shape into a 4-4-2 diamond, because they are being outmatched in the midfield against Menace, and then maybe try and get Robbie Burlew higher and Paul Hernandez, who's already playing as a wing back, because they're playing three at the back at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. You've got players in that midfield who could push forward and play that attacking role, or you could bring somebody off the bench. You've got Tony Pineda, who usually plays wide but could play an attacking midfield role. Ben Heggie is equally capable in central midfield of playing the top of a diamond. And who knows, they could throw Ben Damgee on and just put him in as a second striker. That's what we saw last time, Reinhardt and Damgee combining. We'll take a quick break here on CISN and be right back with the second half of action in about 5 minutes. Don't go away. You're listening to CISN.
At DeArmond Ford Indianola and DeArmond Automotive Knoxville, we want you to experience the DeArmond difference.
My dad and I are in the dealership every day to ensure your ownership experience is exceptional.
We're completing phase 2 of our major reconstruction project at our Indianola location, providing a state-of-the-art customer lounge and waiting area and soon-to-be all-new showroom, reinvesting back into our communities.
DeArmond Ford Indianola and DeArmond Automotive Knoxville. Experience the DeArmond difference today. DeArmondAuto.com.
One more time.
Come on, one more.
One more?
Looking good. Done.
Nah, one more. One more. Riding stance.
What do you think? One more set? Fine, 2 more sets.
One more.
Let's go, squad. One more.
One more.
3, 2, 1.
One more, man.
Oh, man. All right, little bro. Breakfast?
One more.
Yeah, I'm not hungry either.
One more.
Want more? One more, Dad.
Why do businesses succeed? The Better Business Bureau sees the traits of successful businesses every day. It's not easy, but it is simple. The BBB fosters trust between Iowa businesses and consumers.
Visit bbb.org.
On the cusp of the start of the second half, 2-0 is the Des Moines Menace lead over Kingshammer FC in the Central Conference Semis, second round of national playoff play in the 2022 USL League 2 season. Justin Forster and Danny Catula here with you to bring you second half action. And as we mentioned, it's a 2-goal advantage for Des Moines Menace here at home. Kingshammer up against it mathematically, got a lot of quality, got a lot of resolve. They've already gone through some pretty tough scenarios to get to here. I mean, you talk about getting into second place in the first place out of their Valley division, a lot of quality in that division. And then just on Friday, we've talked about it a couple times, winning on 10 penalty kicks, found their way through. They're not out of this one at all.
No, they're not. Because when you look at their bench, they've got Ben Damji, plays up front. He scored in the last game. You've got Sam Robinson, who was effectively assisted in that, got one particular goal. You've got Tony Pineda, who can play on the left or the right. He's very, very crafty. He's very skillful. You've got also that can add into the midfield is Ben Hedgie. Hedgie, he can offer a lot in there. And then obviously Aidan Abril. He's another one that started the other day. And Kyle Healy, who wasn't in the squad for Friday's game, is in the squad here. He's a defensive midfielder, but would he be the player coming in at this point? Not sure. They need attacking players in there.
He's played a lot this season, started 13 of Kingshammer's 14 matches, but like you say, didn't feature in the 11 or the 18 for Kingshammer on Friday. Doesn't look like any changes for Kingshammer, and I believe Menace are out with the same 11 as well. If there are any changes, of course, we'll be sure to let you know whenever we find out about them. But with that in mind, second half about to get underway. Menace would like a good start to the second half. It's those kind of first 5-10 minutes of each half that we've seen them sputter out a little bit, come out a little bit flat. This is Kingshammer's opportunity to maybe grab a goal early on and change the face of this matchup.
Yeah, and it's crucial because you're going at half-time, you've had a break, you're listening to your team coaches for preparation going into the second half. It's about getting yourselves focused right now as this kickoff goes and not being complacent. You've got to come off the mark. Because, yeah, the Menace have been complacent at times, but it's a little bit different. They are playing well at this point.
Second half is up and running. Kingshammer moving from left to right on your screen in the all-gray outfits. Menace going the other way, of course, right to left in black and red. Early on, a chance for Gumbale. Moves it out left. Could something be on here early on? It's to turn around instead, and it's a switch of play for Robbie Burlew. Burlew advances down the right. This is all ball. Couldn't find his target on the right wing, and instead Menace will clear it away for now. One back quickly by Kingshammer, offside, and out of bounds anyway, I believe. It'll be a throw-in for Des Moines.
Yeah, it's still a decent start there. You had Shaft Brewer just covering the diagonal ball that was played into Robbie Burlew, and then Neville Morgan just ushered it out wide, which was well read by Corey Cupid, who was putting pressure on the forward coming in to receive the ball. So, there again, that was good. Just a silly free kick given away here unnecessarily. You don't really want to give away silly free kicks at this stage of the game. We're only in the first minute.
Cam Torito brought down by Shaft Brewer in that midfield area. That's a refereeing decision brought to you by Vision Park Family Eye Care. In comes the ball from Dyson. Into the box. Still dangerous. Far post back across. Makela punches away. Albaugh trying to get there. Hernandez there too. Cam Torito can't get there either, but it's going to filter all the way back, and Kingshammer will start over. Holding on to midfield possession. Switched out left. Back into midfield. Torito. Advanced up the left, and this could be a chance for Gumbali, but it is too long. 2 minutes gone. Kingshammer are on the attack early, but missing that kind of last edge to get that pass into that goal-scoring area. They've got everything but that final ball.
Yeah, and just some little detail. I saw Nedic was looking to lunge into a challenge in the midfield there. He did really well. He didn't do it. He just pulled out of it knowing that he wasn't going to win the ball and forcing the ball to go square and wide.
Free kick resulting from a challenge in the air. And if I'm not mistaken, it's Neville Morgan on the ground. Yeah, there he goes. He just kind of falls into Mikael Goling as he goes down. Goling, the 6'3" central midfielder, 195 pounds. He's got 3 goals and 5 assists this year. 1 yellow card as well for his troubles. High school All-American selection, the Dane. As you see this one headed forward by Garvey, and that's just out of our picture. But Morgan right there, his momentum kind of carries him into Goling, doesn't it?
Yeah, and it looks like as Goling came in, there was no maliciousness at all with that, but as he went up for the header and Goling came in from behind, I think Goling's shoulder just caught Morgan's nose. So hopefully he's okay, but he's still down there. Hopefully it's nothing too serious. Looks like he's going to get up onto his feet.
Yeah, headed back up is Morgan. Transferred in for his final season of eligibility to Omaha. Played for the Mavericks for a year. After 4 years at Lindsey Wilson, played with the Blue Raiders in Kentucky. He's also the MVP for the Ocean City Nor'easters in USL League 2 last season. He knows this league well. He's had a lot of success. Also reached the NAIA National Championship all 3 of his years at Lindsey Wilson. So he's seen a lot of success, and obviously Menace would like to add to that personal success for Morgan. Makela away long and well wide. Throwing it midfield for Kingshammer.
Yeah, the ball was played back into Makela, but the press was coming in there from the 2 center forwards there in Gumbali and Reinhardt. So Makela just, the body shape wasn't quite right. It wasn't played to his left foot where he wanted it. He had to angle his shape, and that's the reason why it went out. He didn't want to take a touch, especially with the pressure coming in.
Quick throw in, trying to find Dyson. And now it will. This is Reinhardt. Can he put it in? He can. Players in the area. And the header from Goling is wide. He's a big target. Went to Young Harris University, or Young Harris College, I should say, up in North Georgia. Beautiful up there in the mountains. The Mountain Lions, as they're known, a fitting name. Young Harris, about an hour from where I grew up in North Georgia. Speaking of, I should mention my younger brother Jake is listening live. Want to give him a shout out. Appreciate him being a part of this one.
Yeah, and he's excited that, you're still here and you're not ready to go home, I believe.
No, he's very excited for me and happy that I'm up here in Des Moines. I think he'd like to see me sometime soon, but if all goes well, that will not be the case. Hoping to get a few more matches up here at Menace and another national title. Why not?
Why not? Maybe you can make a trip up here at sub stage again, you know?
Yeah, that's an idea. Gianluca Fiorini will play it to Zeron Sewell on the throw-in. Here's Connor Langen. That one takes a couple of bounces and falls to King's Hammer in midfield. He'll give it away just as quickly. And here come Menace. Had a chance to break, but Nedic will play it back, make the wise decision, and let Des Moines recycle, take their time. Here's Nedic again. And now he'll go for the advanced ball up the line. Intercepted by Burlew, but he couldn't hold on. Garvey comes in to help out. Alba. Back to Burlew. Burlew long to no one in particular. Sewell's there. Midfield, a bit of a push, but no call. And here come Menace in any case. Morgan wanted the cross. He finds the cross, beats the headed effort of Garvey. The shot from Brewer. It's saved again by the magician in goal, Bryant Pratt.
I tell you what a brilliant little turn. Great touch there. We were talking about Brewer's touch earlier at halftime, but what a great touch there from Brewer just to spin the defender. But again, Brian Pratt, what a fantastic save. It was a great effort. This is a good passage of play here by the Des Moines Menace.
It has been a good passage of play, and it's been a patient one as well. They're taking their time at this point with 2 goals of an advantage, and they're looking to make it 3 now. Long ball doesn't amount to anything, but the second opportunity could. Right wing crossed into the middle, a touch, and a crucial intervention from Garvey as he was falling down, still in the box. Crossed in high, anybody's ball, and King's Hammer gets there first. Last-ditch defending, but it was just about enough.
Well, if Garvey didn't get his outstretched foot to that, I mean, he's a giant at the back there, but if he didn't get his outstretched foot to there, that ball played in just by Kraft, looking to play, I believe, Fiorini, and I tell you what, that could have been dangerous. It came from that turn from Shaft Brewer and the shot. Momentum has changed because King's Hammer did start off the second half really well.
Paul Hernandez is on the ground, the Spaniard, and we'll see a yellow card in the meantime on that foul for Menace. Looks like it'll be Gianluca Fiorini who's pleading his case, and he'll pick up the yellow card. Here's a Royal Mail replay of that one.
Hard to say because Fiorini was coming in to bring the ball down. So it's hard to say that that was actually a yellow card, to be honest with you. He was looking at the ball, and pressure was coming off his right shoulder. He's the one that got the touch, and the defending player coming into him ran into him basically. When you see that, watch again. There. Well, we've got to look at that. Do you think it was actually Fiorini bringing him down? It's hard to say.
That's a good question. To me, it seems like Fiorini at least had a right to that space, but I think when he extends that leg in an effort to win the ball, he does catch Hernandez as he's going away. I mean, it's one of those bang-bang plays, 50-50, and it's up to the referee to decide. And in this instant, he decides with the visitors, King's Hammer. Here's Gumbali. Lofted ball, and yep, offside. It looked like it, and I think he knew on that occasion, but King's Hammer will be flagged for offside. Taylor Reinhardt, the offender, and the flag goes up from assistant referee Logan Clark. Makela will take this one. The crowd's been energetic all evening long, and certainly that's helped Menace. You see a picture of him right there, looking to maybe grab a couple t-shirts that are getting thrown their way. Grant Makela will release this one.
It looks like with the shape of King's Hammer, still playing the same way in a 3-4-3, but Gumbali has taken up more of a central role as a number 9, a traditional number 9. Maybe they're looking to play him in behind and using his pace. He's good with the ball at feet, but I think that's something that they're looking at. And then they've got 2 holding midfielders with the rotation, Cam Torito and Tyler Dyson, and pushing either Mikael Goling up or the rotation of the 3. But it's kind of what they're looking at right now in their back 3 with the 2 holding.
Minute number 55, and Ethan Garvey, I mean, he's probably a heading target himself, but he likes these long throw-ins. He'll put it in near post, flick to the top of the box. Alba goes down, nothing. Top of the box, a shot, it's deflected, and King's Hammer will try again. Burlew, nifty touch, still can't shake Shaft Brewer. How about that back heel though, and a chance for Gumbali to put it in. He does, Try to turn that time. I believe it was Reinhardt, and it was dispossessed. Here comes Menace, a 3-on-2 if they play their cards right. In the middle of this is Kraft. Can he move it out left? He can. This is Morgan. Back across, and defended well by Garvey, out for a corner kick. Excellent counter-attacking defense from King's Hammer. That most likely would have been the nail in the coffin.
Counter-attack against the runner play, but a 3 versus 2 situation there. Actually very, very good defending there by Ethan Garvey and AA2, and the ball going out for a corner in the end.
It's a Confluence corner kick. Confluence is one of the most comprehensive landscape architecture firms in the country. Riley Kraft is going to be the man to take it, as he has been all season long. Crowd's energetic, they're up for it. It's right in front of the Society. In comes the ball, low near post, headed back out. Kraft content to let it go back over, and another corner.
Yeah, a little bit different. Near post corner, changing it up. Normally Riley Kraft bends it into the far post, so just a little bit of a change up.
Kraft will send another one in. Same area, and the glancing header is just a little bit outside. I think it was Sewell in the end.
Yeah, it was a free header. It was a great corner that was played and whipped in by Riley Kraft. Sure, with coming into the space, could have done better with that, heading it out for a goal kick. And as you can see, King's Hammer now looking to play the ball out of the back.
Aerty was an important presence there in central defense to make sure Sewell didn't get the contact he wanted to. An interception after a misplayed pass. Goldthorpe goes down. Legal challenge, says Tribaldo. Into midfield. Goaling. Out to the left. Beats some pressure. Gumbali. Had a steam down the left. He'll play it out wide. Paul Hernandez. Hernandez with the ball in. There's space for Reinhardt, and he just couldn't get there. Sewell was there first.
Yeah, Sewell just outreaching there with his right foot, with Reinhardt lurking in behind him in that space. Very good defending. Out for a corner, but as the transition's now going so much quicker. Obviously, King's Hammer looking to come back into this game. They've got nothing to lose. It's one and done for the next round. But you got to take the chances.
You either score 2 goals here to level it, or you lose your season if you're King's Hammer. Ball comes in from Dyson, far post, and no one was there to get on the end of that service.
Yeah, it was actually a very, very good corner from Dyson. Just nobody making that run into the far post.
A couple changes in the offing for Menace. Let you know who they are in a moment. I believe the first one's going to be Brian Padilla entering for Riley Kraft. The second one will probably be another striker because Brandon Birmingham's in. So Shaft Brewer and Riley Kraft, I believe, are the 2 who are off. Looks to be the case. Brandon Birmingham is in, and Brian Padilla is also in. So Shaft Brewer comes off. Brandon Birmingham will replace him. In the meantime, Riley Kraft is off as well, and Brian Padilla will step into his shoes in attacking midfield. Well, Padilla's got quite a bit of quality on him, doesn't he? Scored 9 goals in 6 matches before joining Menace midseason. He was playing for Denton Diablos in the NPSL at the time. We'll see what he can do for Menace this evening. Still hasn't scored in 7 matches for Menace up until now.
Player for player change as Birmingham comes in there for Brewer. Birmingham scoring when he came into the game. That was the change that was made the last time round on Friday night. And then obviously the second change here with Padilla for Riley Kraft. Kraft has had a fantastic match so far. He's put in an absolute fantastic shift. As you can see, Padilla going in for the tackle. Padilla offers a lot to the game as well. He's impactful. You look at the 2 substitutions coming in, fresh legs. And it's just also, again, now like something for King's Hammer to keep an eye on.
Lance Roseboom in defensive midfield. They'll play it backwards. Here's Zeron Sewell. Skips a player and moves it out wide. Fiorini. That pass intercepted. Nearly fell for Gumbali kindly. Instead, Menace have it. Not the best of back passes, but it does reach Sewell. Once it's safely at his feet, he'll play it out left to Corey Cupid, and now it's Goldthorpe. Still with it. He'll play it centrally. Was looking for Morgan. Now Padilla. Tricky at his feet. He's dispossessed this time. Roseboom. Back across. Langen. Looking forward, Birmingham, it's back for Nedic. Ball forward, onside, right, pass into the middle! Count it! How long did that take? What was it, 30 seconds? Brandon Birmingham has another one, a goal-scoring machine, and in he comes, whirring and grabbing goals, 3-0 Menace.
What a pass from Nedic. That pass from Nedic to split. Look at that pass. In behind, but that ball also from Fiorini. And that clinical finish there from Birmingham was absolutely clinical. Great technique all round, but that pass from Nedic was absolutely eye-opening.
Brilliant stuff from Birmingham to finish, but it was the two passes before that really were so impressive. That ball from Nedic to search out, the back pass from Fiorini. It's brilliant build-up play. It's perfect, and it's exactly how Menace, ideally, when they're at their best, have played. Great passing, untouchable. I mean, no one even gets a touch to the ball. 3 passes, and they go from midfield to 4 feet away from the goal, and they score.
Yeah, and you can see these patterns coming together. You know, things that they've worked on in training, these actions, they're coming together. The combinations are really, really working well.
Torito for King's Hammer. They're really up against it now. Backs against the wall. Alba crosses in. Got Makela moving. Mikael Goling is whistled for the foul. So a free kick for Menace in their own box. You just got to be smart in these next 10 minutes, I think. If you can stay clean and keep the clean sheet up until then, they'll be looking good, especially with the fact that they're continuing to attack, continuing to create chances. I wouldn't be surprised if we got beyond 3 goals from Des Moines' perspective.
Well, if they carry on like this, they're going to score more goals. I mean, we know how effective Birmingham is. His first touch is in the back of the net.
See if we can figure out who these changes are for King's Hammer. Coming in will be Tony Pineda, first of all. I believe we'll also see Ben Heggie. So Heggie and Alba are in, we can tell you that. Reese Alba is out. Pineda replaces him. Sorry for that misstep. So Alba is out, replaced by Tony Pineda. That's on the right wing. Ben Heggie is in. And I believe, from what I can tell, I think he's come in for Taylor Dyson. We'll let you know to try and confirm that. Paul Hernandez looks like he's also come off. Still trying to figure out who replaced him. Still trying to figure it out. Meanwhile, Menace not waiting for anything. Great build-up play down this right side again, but this time intercepted well. Up the left. And Menace will commit a foul there in midfield. Results in a free kick. Taylor Dyson is still on the pitch. You see him on your screen there. I believe Heggie has come in for Cam Torito. No, I still see Torito out there too. So somebody's off in midfield. It might be Paul Hernandez who's actually come off. They've gone to more of a 3-back formation, sacrificing a defender for a midfielder. At this stage of the match, it wouldn't surprise me. Here come King's Hammer down the left. Into midfield. Top of the box, Torito. Moves it out wide. Gumbale. Gumbale lowers the shoulder, gets it across. No one's there on the end of it. Out for a King's Hammer throw. So what we believe is the current lineup. On the back line, still Burlew, Garvey, and Aerty. Heggie comes in to replace Hernandez, so it's a 3-back line now. Mikael Goling and Cam Torito still in central midfield. Ooh, that had you worrying a little bit if you're one of the fans in the crowd for Menace, one of many tonight. That ball was going backwards towards goal, but it falls away in the end. Out for a corner kick, Confluence corner kick for King's Hammer.
Yeah, Sewell just getting his head to that, knocking the ball out for a corner. You know, having the substitutions just kills the momentum in games, just slows it down a bit.
In comes this ball long, headed towards the center, and it's out. I believe we've also seen the introduction of Ben Damgey, if I'm not mistaken, up top. Still not sure who he's replaced. In the meantime, it's a Menace throw. You see Damgey right there wearing number 27 on the left wing. So there's 3 substitutions. The players who are in, we know. It's Damgey, Heggie, and Tony Pineda. All attacking or midfield options. And we know 2 players who have come off are Paul Hernandez a left back, and Reese Albaugh, an outside winger. Still waiting on the third guy to come off. I mean, he's come off. We're still waiting on who he is. 66th minute. 3 substitutions made for Kings Hammer, 2 for Menace thus far. And a right side throw in for Menace. They give it away quickly. Trying to win possession back. Heggie making a menace of himself. And it'll be a foul against Menace, so a free kick for Kings Hammer in their own half. Actually a throw in. It went out of play on that far side. And another throw in. Menace is trying to pin this Kings Hammer attack out wide as much as possible, not letting him get inside where obviously they're a more threatening side in front of goal. So 66 minutes gone into minute number 67 this evening. And Kings Hammer all of a sudden felt like out of nothing, especially at the end of that first half. They're down 3-0 and they could be in trouble at this point. You got really 4 strikers up front. It's really a 4-man partnership up top. If I'm not mistaken, I think we can go ahead and confirm Mikael Goling is the man who's off the pitch for Kings Hammer in midfield. His 6'3" frame gone from this one. So it's a 3-3-4, if you will, with maybe Reinhardt or DMG in the center of attack. One of those attacking forward coming back, playing more of a 10 role at times.
Yeah, I think DMG being introduced right now, I think it's a great decision. I wonder, you know, when Robinson's going to come in, but what the coach has done is he's made a sacrifice in the midfield by taking off Goling and introducing and more attacking players as in Damji. That's the sacrifice he's made. But what I see here is Gumbali has moved into the right-hand side. Our near right-hand side, playing more as a wing-back just to cover Morgan going forward.
Yellow card in the meantime given to Kings Hammer. Somebody on that left side. Still trying to confirm who that was. Might see a replay of it and get a better idea. How about that? As you wish. It might be Pineda that time. I think the outside winger who picks that yellow card up. That's what we'll go with there in the booth. So another yellow card to Kings Hammer. Couple on the night for them. And they're on the ball now. Desperately need something positive to bring into these last 20 minutes of the match. Outside throw in. Looks like Damji will take it. In fact, he'll leave it off and move forward. Throwing up the left side. Trying to get onto it was Reinhardt. Couldn't. Was not able to get around Sewell. Right side, that one's rejected by Kings Hammer. Roseboom opens up space and he'll play it backwards. Cupid. Morgan. Side-footed pass, clever. And that one goes off of Kings Hammer as Robbie Burlew throwing Menace. Morgan takes. At least thinks about taking. Hasn't seen a throw in he wants to make yet. Now he does. Goldthorpe is going to pick it up and will also draw a foul on Burlew. Quick throw in. It catches Burlew off guard. Goldthorpe is going to cross this one in. And Ethan Garvey's there doing his duty as a center back, clearing it away. Kings Hammer would like to come the other way. Reinhardt will play it backwards to Aerty. That's where the space is right now. Menace are not allowing Kings Hammer to get forward. Kings Hammer look a little bit less creative than they did in half number 1. It's what Menace tends to do, wear you down by making you move around all match long for 90 minutes. And again, this Kings Hammer team played really a game and a half when you think about how many minutes most of those guys were in last time. This will be out for a corner kick in the meantime. Grant Makela couldn't slide in to save that ball in time. It'll be a Confluence corner kick for Kings Hammer.
Yeah, Nevin Morgan just coming across to cut out the diagonal ball. Trying to guide the ball out just a little bit too much on it, not heading it out for a goal kick. But as you can see, some of the changes that have come in have been really shown some great energy here for both sides. But going back to that free kick, quick thinking by the Menace and Goldthorpe looking for that quick free kick.
Taylor Dyson will send this one in. Right foot out swinger. Sewell rises highest, and away that one goes. Past 70 minutes now, under 20 to play in regulation.
They're looking for the far post, looking for Garvey on the corners. The Menace have done really well just by overloading that area with Sewell. Defensively, they've got it so organized and they're dealing with those situations. It looks like the referee's going to have a chat with
Sewell and Gumbali, it looks like. Two important players in two very different positions. I guarantee you they are making sure that Sewell's on Gumbali as much as possible in these man-marking situations. When he can win the ball in the air, Sewell's one of those guys who will rise higher than anybody. Makela couldn't get there with his touch, and meanwhile he knocks down one of his own defenders. They'll stop the play for this one.
Yeah, it looks like he went into the back of Sewell's head there, just knocking him to the ground. But earlier on, just a little bit of argy-bargy between the two of them. So nothing really, the referee giving out yellow cards and that, no need for it. But hopefully, Zeron Sewell's okay here.
Yeah, not the first time Sewell's gone down today, is it? He's taking a bit of a beating, and that's what he's called in there to do. Anchors that defensive line. We'll see it one more time on the Royal Mile replay. And Makela, just some friendly fire. Has to punch it out. It's the right decision from the goalkeeper wearing blue for Menace, but doesn't mean it doesn't hurt when Zeron Sewell takes the brunt of it. He'll step off, but I think he'll try and come back on in a moment.
Yeah, I think he will. It looks like we're going to have another change as well, but Makela coming in, maybe a late shot. You can't really pull out of that. And he just went over the top.
So there are your changes. You get a look at them. First up, Felipe D'Agostini will sub in a striker role. Elliot Goldthorpe really spells the end of his night. And then Jaden Ramsey-Kelly will find his way in, and that'll be where it gets interesting. We'll see who comes off, because he could replace a center back. He could replace a couple of defensive midfielders. He could go in at wing back. We've seen him in all those roles. So D'Agostini's in for Goldthorpe. We know that much. And we also now know that Neville Morgan will step off. He's put in a nice shift. He's worked hard, been active. He's been energetic. And now he'll get replaced by Jaden Ramsey-Kelly. Now, we could see Ramsey-Kelly play on that left wing that Morgan vacates, or we could see Cupid move out to that role at some point too and see Ramsey-Kelly go in as a center back. There's versatility now on that back line for Menace.
I think Ramsey-Kelly is moving into the wing back position there. Straight switch there for Neville Morgan. D'Agostini, it looks like he could be playing up front, just in there alongside Birmingham, just underneath. Not sure yet, as we see this just from the defensive patterns that are out there right now.
And those are the two substitutions for now that Menace will make. A little over a quarter hour for those players to make their mark, D'Agostini and Ramsey-Kelly. 74th minute. Now, Sewell is given permission to come back on. Menace and Kings Hammer FC playing 11s once again. 3-0 is the Menace lead. 16 or so minutes to play, and of course, any added time that Luis Tribaldo, the center referee, decides to add. Kings Hammer just finding everything a battle in midfield right now. Menace have been physical, and this little time-wasting technique will earn Corey Cupid a yellow card. It's his first of the year. He's played center back a lot this year, and tend to see center backs pick up bookings fairly often, but that's Cupid's first of the year. Played for the Stony Brook Seawolves up in the northeast corner of the U.S. It's his 10th match of the season. He started all 10. 2 goals and 1 assist for Cupid on the campaign.
Cupid's touch earlier was absolutely brilliant. Just bringing it down with the inside of his left foot before trying to find Birmingham up front. Just a little bit of time wasting. He's got to be careful. He's on a yellow card. He's played his way into the game. The group have defended well at the back. Just now he's just got to be careful with 15 minutes coming up to the end of the match.
Not a guy we would like to see get a second yellow. Of course, that would mean he'd be sent off here, and more importantly, if Menace go through, which at the moment it looks like they're slated to. If they are going through to play Flint City next Friday, then he would be ineligible for that one too, because he'd pick up that red card. So, I mean, just something for Dean Johnson to keep in mind. There's a couple of guys on yellows at this point. Cupid the most recent. I think the only one remaining in the starting 11 who has been booked for Menace. So somebody who he may think about taking off. Now Gumbale is taking off, trying to get around Sewell. It's Cupid there first to not even allow Sewell to get into the defensive action. Nice work by Corey on that near side. Padilla sends this one long, and running after it is Brandon Birmingham. Felipe D'Agostini is chasing it too, but Aerty, in the face of pressure, gets it back to his goalkeeper, Pratt. Not a great clearance from Pratt, high in the air. Padilla goes to win it. Couldn't quite get the touch he wanted. Way back into the air again. Some really high balls in this one. Sewell will head it forward. He went all the way to midfield to do that. Now Dyson will move it out left. Chasing it was Burlew on that occasion. Could not get there. And that will give Menace possession back.
Great cover there by Conor Langen. Just covering Fiorini on the far side. Just managing to get to the ball.
Opportunity and a shot from distance. Well, that would have been quite the fortunate goal. But Makela is able to watch that one go past his left post.
Yeah, on 2 occasions, what I've seen here is King's hammer down on the near side on the right. Ramsey Kelly didn't cover that space quickly enough just to intercept the ball being played through. Gumbali was making those runs in on the right-hand side and was getting in behind. And Cupid did well to cover that. Like on the far side there, Fiorini was just caught with the run, overlapping run, and Langen, Conor Langen coming across again and covering the space. So the three at the back have been really, really sturdy today.
I'm not sure how much it'll matter in the grand scheme of this one, but after seeing that replay on the Makela move, I'm pretty sure he touched that ball on its way out. Probably should have been a Kingshamer corner kick. Again, right now they need 3 goals, so that would have only been a greater opportunity to get one of the 3 that they need. And a reminder that the winner of this match, ooh, that is a hard tackle. And we'll see a yellow card go to midfielder Ben Heggie. Usually plays on the right side of central midfield, but we've seen him all over the midfield 3 this season. He's playing in his 12th match for Kingshamer on the year of 15. 3 goals and a yellow card. Now he picks up his 2nd yellow of the season, first this evening.
Yeah, Heggie just coming in late on that tackle. It's just frustration at the end of the day. He slowed the game down. But just coming in late, just got to be careful now. 13 minutes to go of the match.
And then we'll see another coaching staff booking. We've seen a few of those this weekend. Saw one on Friday, an ejection, a red card to Caw Valley's head coach. And now we're going to see Adam Kay, the assistant, on the bench for Des Moines Menace, pick up a yellow. He's not one to mince his words, is he?
No, not at all. He definitely, he voices his opinion. He protects his players, and I think that's what it was. I think he was just trying to protect his players at the end of the day. You look at Luka Nedic the other day with that tackle, and when Keita took him out, got sent off. I mean, this is what they're looking to do.
2 more changes. Looks like Malik Smith is going to come in as a defensive reinforcement. You'll also see Alexon Saravia enter the game wearing number 24. He'll play outside back, so I believe Fiorini steps off. Alexon Saravia replaces him. And not sure who it is who comes off defensively. Might have been Sewell on the back line. And so we can confirm Zeron Sewell's off in the middle of that center back trio with Langen and Cupid. Alex Smith replaces him and slots into that role. Meanwhile, Gianluca Fiorini is off on the right wing back side of things. And Alexon Saravia replaces him. And another booking might be in the cards. Yes, it is. That one, has it gone to Padilla that time? I believe it has. So attacking midfielder comes in, maybe 10 minutes or so, and he's already got himself a yellow card for his troubles. 2nd yellow card of the season, by the way, for Padilla. Padilla from El Paso, Texas, grew up split in time between El Paso and the town on the other side of the border, Ciudad Juarez in Mexico. Played for the Maryland Terrapins, was a part of the squad that won the 2018 National Championship in NCAA Division I soccer. Here's some physical play from Gumbali. He'll cut it back, plenty of gray shirts to shoot! And a goal line clearance on the back post saves the clean sheet for now. 80th minute. It really should have been 3-1, but Mr. Consistent himself, Conor Langen, says no sir, no goal this time.
Well, Conor Langen, right place, right time, but look at the strike here. Conor Langen, well, put it this way, Makela well beaten, Connor Langen on the line, heading it out for a corner. Mr. Consistency, as we say, absolutely fantastic defending as we see an injury here.
Going to see another injury to a Menace defender. I believe it's Cupid that time, who's gone down. Be helped up by Robbie Burlew of Kings Hammer and Lance Roseboom for Menace. Referee just making his intentions clear for this upcoming corner. You don't want things to get out of hand physically. At this point, Kings Hammer, they need a goal right now, and then you've got 10 minutes to start some miracle stuff and get a couple goals. Back post, there is a free header. Top of the box. Can a shot come from Cam Torito? No, he'll have to move it out left. Pineda sees it again. Wants to cross. He will. That one is dealt with early. And it's looking to clear, and now they're looking to press. Aertes, the man all the way back for Kings Hammer. Everybody else is forward. Order of business is very clear for them as some good shielding of the ball by Cupid. 82nd minute, and a few more changes. I think we'll see all three. Well, no, there's 4 outfield players because if you remember, there's no backup goalkeeper. So 3 of them come in. Quinn Thompson, it's the redhead in the middle of your screen. You're also going to see Kyle Healy. And Taylor Dyson's off, so Healy most likely replaces Dyson. You're going to see Burlew off. He is replaced by Quinn Thompson. And Taylor Reinhardt's also off. So there's Thompson on your screen. Saw Kyle Healy come in midfield, and there's Sam Robinson. So Sam Robinson, an attacking player, replaces the striker Reinhardt. Healy comes in to replace Taylor Dyson, the set-piece man. And Quinn Thompson's in at right back to replace Robbie Burlew. Getting out of the end, advantageous ball. D'Agostini muscled off the ball. Nobody from Kings Hammer wanted to clear it. They were all shielding the ball away, and Menace with another opportunity. Birmingham left wing. Gets inside. He loves that shot. It curls directly at Pratt. But he's done it before from that area, and you saw exactly what his intention was.
Yeah, Birmingham getting the ball onto his favored right foot. Pratt was in the right positioning. No problem, just ball straight into his hands. I thought that might have been a little, shove in the back there. But no, and Padilla as the game goes on.
Thompson, right side, trying to beat Ramsey Kelly. He won't beat him, but he will knock it off him for a Kings Hammer throw-in. So the only players available on each team's bench, there's one more each. Javier Becker is a goalkeeper for Des Moines. He could come in for Grant Mackelay. I doubt that'll happen. And Aiden Abril can also come in for Kings Hammer in these last 7 minutes or so. Minute number 84, long throw-in. Thompson, far post, an excellent flick from Damji. And the goal goes to Kings Hammer, unless it was offside, but I think it's going to count. Kings Hammer 1, Des Moines Menace 3. Is that game on, Justin?
Well, there's 2 goals in it right now. We're in the 83rd minute, coming up to 6 minutes left of the game. But Damji with the flick on here off the throw-in from Quinn Thompson. Brilliant flick on. Look to see who got that. The substitute, Sam Robinson, on the far post. A little bit of complacency there from the Menace defensively. Side foots the ball into the back of the net. But how important was that save on the line by Connor Langen? That was huge, because this could be 3-2.
Absolutely could. And you go back to that save in the first half from Mackelay right towards the end. That sprawling save. I mean, Kings Hammer have had their chances, and Menace have had to be alert to those dangers. Right now is when that matters. No clean sheet anymore, but right now, Menace still up 2, and Kings Hammer are charging. They are not done with their season yet, and they don't want it to end in the next 6 minutes. Robinson still got it after the goal. Is this run offside? No, it isn't. Damji all alone on the right side, crosses it back across, and it really could have been 2. Across the face of goal, and I think it was another goal line intervention. Was it Langen again who got back?
I need to have another look at that. Just need to have a look at it.
But what a run down the right by Robinson.
Yeah, I mean, the ball played in by Robinson. Damji latching onto it. As the comes across there, is that Robinson on the ball again?
I think it was, and Langen did get the touch, didn't he?
Well played to Langen, the second intervention.
Another cross in, top of the box, a shot, blocked a couple of times, cleared away, it's pinball in the box. Sent back in by Thompson. Damji is the outside this time. Still no, says the referee. He was close a couple of times and getting the benefit of the doubt. Out of play, Kings Hammer throw-in. On the ground is a Menace player, and will stop play for this one. 5 minutes remaining And now Des Moines all of a sudden hanging by a thread a little bit more. That's Alexon Saravia, the Salvadorian by heritage, born and raised in Alexandria, Virginia, just outside of D.C. Minute number 86. Quinn Thompson will attempt a deep throw in into the box. Short of Makela. He's out of his box. Hoke just gets back there in time, but it was another sliding challenge by a center back before he could get there. This one hooked back in, and I don't think he realized there was nobody there in gray for Kings Hammer. Ball given away. Makela takes his time, falls on it. He'll use all his goalkeeper tricks to make sure that Menace let as much time roll off this clock as possible.
Yeah, I think Saravia going down in the box there, just killing time. Makela here, killing time. But there's this sense of energy with King's Hammer. You can see this with Ben Damji up front, Tony Robinson. I just don't understand why Tony Robinson didn't come in the game earlier. Sam Robinson has been effective so far, and so is Damji. I just don't understand why they didn't come in the game earlier. I think it could have inspired something like this if they would have come in the 65th minute, possibly. But you can see the energy, and they really are trying to get back in this match.
Still 4 more minutes for this match to potentially turn on its head. Damji trying to get there again. This time Malik Smith clears. Past midfield, an excellent clearance. Garvey's header forward and sent right back. Middle of the park. Booted away. Garvey's got it again. He's seen a lot of touches in the second half, just trying to play the ball forward, get Kings Hammer up front. It's been Route 1. What they've been trying to do. Just got to get that ball in the box and hope you get on the end of it, get a second goal. They need 2 more to level this thing and send us to extra time. Gumbali works it out right. Robinson, deep cross, getting on the end of it. Oh, but not able to get there before the bounce. And it just goes over the touch line there. Never crossed the goal line, so a Menace throw-in as the corner flag gets knocked down.
Ramsey Kelly,
putting in work.
Ramsey Kelly shouldn't have pressed that earlier ball there, the one that was played in behind, because then that forced Corey Cupid out of position. Ramsey Kelly should have just held his ground and tucked in, because his player was on the outside of him, and he should have just held that. The midfield was coming across. You had Nedic, you had Lance Roseboom. Just stay compact, stay organized. And that's all they really need to do at this point. This is fine. Get the ball in the opponent's half, regroup, keep your shape. Try not to chase here. Ramsey Kelly needs to stay in his position. He wants to go again, and Bamji will get him behind.
Felipe D'Agostini can get him behind now after getting the ball back on a press. Left side all alone. Beats the keeper with a nutmeg. And surely that's it now. Felipe D'Agostini from Porto Alegre, Brazil, is sending Des Moines Menace into the next round. It's got to be now.
It has to be now. And I tell you, that is what they needed, because there was a lot of nerves out there. There was obviously nerves on the bench, just the way that the opponents were attacking, as in King's Hammer. But what a tackle here by D'Agostini, dispossessing Quinn Thompson. It's all on his own. He deserves this. Goes past the defender, goes through the legs of Brian Pratt into the bottom corner, and 4-1 is good right now.
Well, it's timely, that goal that secures things for Menace, because we're hearing in the booth right now some breaking news up in the press box at Valley Stadium, and it's great news for Menace fans. Menace, if they hold on to this 4-1 lead, will not only advance to play Flint City Bucks, they'll be hosting them. You'll be able to hear the next match on Friday, the Central Conference Final between Menace and Flint City. Again, if Menace can hold on, it's not over yet. A couple more minutes for Kings Hammer to get a last throw with a dice in, but assuming Menace go through, Friday, July 29th, 7 p.m., same time, same place. Come right back here to CISN, whether you're listening on YouTube or on 11 Sports. Or, of course, you can come in person to Des Moines at Valley Stadium. What an atmosphere that will be. And that's a huge benefit to the Menace that we're hearing just now. This fan base is the best in League 2 by far, and it'll surely help the Menace as they keep going. And Flint City, if they advance, will be tough opposition. This ball is sent through, and Kings Hammer aren't giving up on it. Makela wisely will let that one bounce beyond the goal line, knowing it was a goal kick to come.
Yeah, I'm excited by the news as well, Danny. We played what's going to be Flint City, and we played them last year at the same venue, so they'll be heading out this way. I'm ecstatic to hear about this news, and obviously for the fans, the fan base, the organization, the team, it's so exciting. You just can't believe how excited I am. I'm pumped. But the Menace now need to see this game out and just see it out. They 4-1 up and then move on to the next round.
Kings hammer on it, and they're not going to give up. Sam Robinson's got it up the left. Good ball for Pineda. Gives it back. DMG has a go. It's over the bar. First minute of added time. We're past the 90, and we'll see 3 more minutes as indicated on your screen. So not much more time. Des Moines Menace feeling pretty good about this one. Again, they'll take their time. They won't take any chances. But at this point, that 4th goal from D'Agostini really took the air out of this one and made this one mostly final.
Yeah, the nail in the coffin, and he worked so hard to dispossess Quinn Thompson on our near left-hand side. All that work. He deserves a goal, actually. He had a great game when he came in on Friday. He deserves a goal today. And he's always put in a shift when he's come into a game.
Kings hammer on the back line, trying to avoid a chance for a 5th on the back line. There's still pressure from Menace. Why give up when you could go and score another one? Padilla. He'll chip this one outside. Deft touch. D'Agostini wants a double. We'll cut it back top of the box. The shot is wide. Scuffed a little bit that time. Not really a particularly catastrophic miss, but would have liked to see that go in the back of the net.
Yeah, Padilla's got delivery into D'Agostini here on the left-hand side. Nenich supporting D'Agostini, knew he didn't have an angle to shoot. And just laying it off there for Nenich to shoot. Didn't quite work out, going out for a goal kick.
This goal kick is well beyond midfield. And in midfield trying to win it back is Malik Smith. This one's going to be sent long. Trying to beat Smith there. He does get a header to it, but still in the area. A couple of Kings Hammer players, long distance shot. It's blocked, and that was a crucial intervention. That could have been 2. Another Confluence corner kick for you for Kings Hammer. They've had quite a few, especially on this right side. They're going to want to take it quickly. They thought about it and wasn't quite on. So Gumbale will move into the middle, and in the meantime, cross comes in from Eden Abril. Abril, middle, Makela claims it. He's been big this afternoon. As we've gotten into the evening, it seems like he's just gotten better. Gave up the 1 goal, but didn't feel like his fault. He's been important in goal.
Yeah, he has. And he's commanding his penalty area. He's commanding the 6 box. There he just goes to ground just to kill some time. You know, just take some seconds off the clock, and then he just punts it long, hoping that the Menace can pick up the second ball, earning a throw in deep and just midway, just inside the half of Kings Hammer, and again taking time off the clock.
15 more seconds before it's official. Alex and Saravia to throw it in. Menace all set to host Flint City Bucks in the Central Conference final, I should say. And over on the west, it'll be Ventura County Fusion and Ballard FC making the trip. And with that whistle from Luis Tribaldo, it is official, and you can put it in the book. Des Moines Menace with 1 more home win, and that will bring the Central Conference final right back to Des Moines, right where it was last season. 4-1 the final score, and we've got more post-game analysis to bring you. Don't go away. We'll set up what's coming next and recap what we've just seen, all right here on CISN.
With over 260 beers on tap, El Bait Shop isn't just another craft beer bar. It's the best. Beer lovers know. El Bait Shop, 200 Southwest 2nd, Des Moines.
Largest selection of German beer in the world, you'll find it at the Hessen House. From Doppelbox to Oktoberfest to Hefeweizens and Dunkels, There's no passport needed for the deliciously different beer and food at the Hessen House. So grab your friends and make it a fun night out. The Hessen House, 4th and Court, Des Moines.
It takes a village to empower a young person to achieve their full potential. Yet today in America, 1 in 3 kids are growing up without a mentor. Together, we can change this. You can be that someone for a young person by becoming a mentor. Join the village. Big brothers, big sisters. Become a big today.
The fairy tale keeps on being written in the center of the Hawkeye State, West Des Moines, Iowa, where Des Moines Menace have just grabbed another 4-goal performance, another win at home, and it means they're playing a couple more games here at Valley Stadium. The fans have earned nothing less. The players have earned nothing less. Justin Forster joining myself, Danny Gatula, here in the booth one final time for post-game coverage. A 4-1 victory for the Menace, and Justin, it was well-deserved. It took a little bit of patience, as it's tended to this season, but they found their footing late on in that first half was when the game really started to change. And let's go and take a look at how that happened, Justin.
Yeah, the Menace are finding the momentum here towards the end of the season, but here's Riley Kraft pouncing onto ball, space created, Kraft onto his left foot. Nobody really closed him down, striking the ball past the goalkeeper, Pratt. And look at that celebration. Here we see Goldthorpe latching onto a throw and went past the defenders. A difficult one to take care of because Pratt's been awesome Friday and today, and calmly put into the back of the net there by Elliot Goldthorpe. This pass here from Nedic, absolutely brilliant. The ball from Fiorini, perfect. And what about that finish from Birmingham? His first touch, he was in the game for 30 seconds. Absolutely brilliant. And that's why he comes into games like this, effective off the bench. Unbelievable finish. And the Menace are looking more like in a comfortable position here, but they went to sleep here for a bit. Gumbele on the ball, plays the ball back into the box. Off the line there from Connor Langen. Unbelievable. That could have brought the Menace back into the game, and it could have been a different situation altogether. Here, Quinn Thompson now, this is what brings them back into the game here on the far post, and there's that man there, Bamji, to finish off. Here's another opportunity here. The ball coming across the box here. And again, Sam Robinson on the ball. Robinson getting the first goal. And there it is again. But here, what about this here from D'Agostini? D'Agostini dispossessing Quinn Thompson. A little bit of composure. Garvey trying to force him wide. He strikes with his left foot through the goalkeeper's legs. And that was the nail in the coffin here for the Des Moines Menace. And thankfully for them, because they were under a bit of pressure.
They certainly were. Kingshammer good in the first 20 to 30 minutes and pretty good in those last 15, but it just wasn't quite enough. Des Moines in the middle of that match, absolutely dominant, and nobody could touch them. 4 goal scorers to choose from for our must-go man of the match, but maybe we'll go a different route today.
Yeah, I have to go for Connor Langen tonight. It could have gone to Nedic. It could have gone to Roseboom. It could have gone to any of them up front, but he's been Mr. Consistency this season. Nobody has really been looking at what he has done and how effective he's been. That save on the line was critical, absolutely critical. And then right after that, he had another one, a critical save which deflected out for a corner that would have put King's Hammer back into the game at 3-2. He deserves man of the match today.
Earlier this season, we heard head coach Dean Johnson say that Connor is at least a 7 out of 10. He's been that way all season long. So consistent. That's what he likes about him. Today's got to be at least a 9, a 9.5, I would assume. Excellent work. Those goal line clearances and just set the tone for that back line.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just gonna put something in here. But doesn't he look like Danny Drinkwater?
We've discussed that as well. And the resemblance is striking. He's about as busy as Danny Drinkwater. Finds himself almost in more celebrity status here in Des Moines than Danny does in Leicester. But in any case, that's about all we've got for you guys this evening. Justin Forster, pleasure to have you along with me. And everybody in the CISN studio, appreciate all of their work. Again, it ends 4-1 for Des Moines Menace. Do not forget, we're coming back here on Friday. You don't want to miss it. 7 p.m. July 29th. Menace taking on Flint City Bucks. The Central Conference title is on the line. And after that, the National Final Four. That'll be hosted in Des Moines too, whether Menace make it or not. but we have a feeling they might. We'll see you guys for it and see if they can make it happen. Friday at 7 right here on CISN. Until then, I've been Danny Catula. Have a fantastic rest of your night, and be blessed.